Welcome to Fullerton College Football on SportsNetUSA.net. Hi, I'm Mark Pavlovich along with Ryan Osborn and Corey Neyland. We are the voices for Fullerton College Football. Well, it took about my age to get a new field here to play at home, 106 years. Yeah, I've been around that long here at Fullerton College, and it's finally happening on this day that Fullerton College plays an official home game on the campus. I know if you were at the reception, you heard a lot of people telling you, well, we had home games across the street, we had home games at Yorba Linda, but this is, let's be realistic, it's a home game. And I'll try not to call it, I almost use this S word.
You were close there, Mark, and that's the thing. You talk about this field, these upgrades. It's the ability of Fullerton College to no longer have to bus, to no longer have to take a car ride. It is the Fullerton College home. Plain and simple, this is where the Hornets will play, and it does them justice because you take the history of the Hornets, you take all the alumni who have played here, all the coaches who have coached here, and it all meshes together in them having the opportunity to be able to be here on campus and call it home.
Yeah, and Ryan, when you think about this is a team that won their conference last year, the Hornets. They were in the playoffs. We were waiting for Riverside to have a bad game. They did. It was in the championship the week after we played. And Santa Barbara had a spectacular year last year, probably the best in the history of the program. They won their conference. The last time they won their conference was in 1991. They set school records right and left for the Vaqueros out of Santa Barbara. It should be an interesting matchup tonight.
It will, and here's the interesting thing, Mark. You open up House Sherbeck Field, you open up these upgrades, as you mentioned, coming off an exceptional season for Fullerton, where a lot of people, plain and simple, Mark, before the season started, they wrote off the Hornets. Once the Hornets ended up getting to the end of the season, they get that conference championship, they get themselves into the Southern California championship game, and this is how you keep momentum going as a program, Mark. You open up your field. You open up these upgrades. You open it up to brand new Hornet athletes right after having an exceptionally successful season.
So we're getting a signal down the field, and if you see somebody doing it, it's not us. It's the PA system that they're not getting the voices down there. Like any new field, Ryan Osborn, there are hiccups with what goes on.
There are indeed, but what we do want to, give the staff here for Fullerton College, football staff, and then also administrative as well, give them some credit, Mark, because they have been able to help us get that alumni reception going. Earlier, you and I got to host that alumni stream, and what was great about it is that we got to talk to so many different Hornets across eras, and now you get the current era of Hornets, the current administrative staff, getting to meet with the coaches here on the field.
Yeah, and Garrett is out there handing out commemorative footballs to people that have been out there and associated with the program. Hal Sherbeck's son was here today, got Hal's original championship ring. That was Garrett at it. He gave it. The college president getting the ball. So a lot of people getting commemorative footballs here on the field for our first home game on SportsNetUSA.net. Ryan, I've got to ask you, I'm waiting for Mr. Neyland to saunter back in here with a couple seconds to go. What should this game hold for us?
Well, the number one thing that it's going to hold for us is, let's call it discovery, Mark. Because what we talked to with the coaching staff before this season got underway in training camp is, hey, what do you guys have? What do you have offensively? What do you have defensively? And what we heard a lot is returners with experience and who know how to think the game of football, and a mix of a young core coming to Fullerton College, trying to show off their talent early on. So it's going to be discovery. Is it going to be a very veteran-heavy lineup, or is it going to be a team that's going to be led by a lot of brand-new true freshmen? I'll lean towards the former. You're going to see a lot of guys like a Brandon Nunez leading this team forward, allowing for them to have the experience that they already know, being in a Southern California championship, game, being in a semifinal, I think it's going to be discovery. How do those Hornets who have been here help along the people who have just gotten here into the program?
Well, it's going to be interesting, too. You talk about Brandon Nunez, who split time with Josh Calvin last year. Some of the fans that we have visited with thought that Brandon would go out there, and if he threw a pick, he saw the sidelines very quick. Being the number one guy to start this season, the rope should be longer. We should have an opportunity to see how talented this young man is this year at the quarterback position.
It'll be interesting to see, Mark, and you switch it over to the Vaqueros. You and I were looking over their stats from last year. They had a very good season last year.
Best
got
ever.
Themselves, like you mentioned, best ever season in their program history, and it finished with a bowl win. So it's going to be a good challenge for the Hornets if they're trying to discover themselves early going.
Yeah, and I think what they do is, because everybody has set themselves up to think this could be the team that wins a new conference. The way it's lined up, we're going to be on the road quite a bit. Next week we head for College of the Canyons. Then we have another home game here on sports@usa.net. We should be broadcasting next week. Ryan, it should be a very interesting season for the competition. Some old, some new, some borrowed, and with us on this field, a lot of blue.
And Mark, when you look at this overall program, you look at the start, we're going to get the national anthem here sung in just a moment. And Mark, let's get this season underway.
So let's get ready for our national anthem. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn, Joseph Pavlenko on the board today for us here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Don't forget, all our games are brought to you by Discount Markets, located on Raymond and Fullerton. For Jenna and Isabel, thank you very much for making this game possible. As the color guard comes on the field.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn.
For the first game in the 106 years of football, here at Fullerton College. Corey Neyland's about 95. I'm 106. Joe's about 87. And then there's Ryan Osborn in sports years that is 215. So, Ryan, sorry, got to make you the oldest guy doing the broadcast tonight.
Hey, you know what? That's okay. And the reason why that is because then I have the opportunity to relate to all the alumni that we got to talk to at the reception earlier. And, Mark, that was such, we'll say, an honor to be able to talk to each and every one of those people who came through this program, who know what being a Hornet is all about.
Maurice Salisbury is back deep on the early side.
And Mark, Caden Chan is dangerous, has one kickoff return last year and one punt return for a touchdown, along with Maurice Salisbury. Caden Chan was a first team All-Pacific League as a punt returner.
Fulbear, Jonathan Fulbear, a name you know from last year, kicking off for the Hornets. Fulbear starts things off. Chan comes, settles underneath it. Across the 15, tries to go to the outside. Doesn't quite get to the 20.
Brought down by Quentin Ashford for the first tackle.
So we'll set the defense for you in a second. Corey Neyland, myself, Ryan Osborn. Coming out at quarterback, Will Doherty for the Vaqueros. Big kid. Doherty takes it to 10, up the middle, off left tackle, gets a gain of about 2 on the play.
And so Prince Borton with the first
Was
rush
Borton?
of the game.
Okay.
Second and 7.
So they're going to give a gain of about 3 on the play. So Doherty looks things over. Goes back. Here comes the pressure. Doherty looks for something. Tough coverage on the far side of the field by the Hornets. Incomplete. It's going to bring a 3rd down and 7 quickly for Santa Barbara. Like everybody else, started the season, Corey Neyland, and I'll get used. Ryan Osborn out there. Coming to the near side of the field is Riles Buckley in the slot at the near side of the field. Doherty goes back, looks at Buckley across the middle. Should have been picked. It's not. So Buckley comes across the middle, comes off his hands. Corey, it drops right into the defender's hand. Maybe you're on defense because you can't catch a pass, can't be on offense.
Chris Harm, who led the team in tackles last year, almost comes up with the pick in this first series, and a good 3 and out for the Fullerton defense. As back deep is going to be Quentin Ashford, who made the initial tackle on the kickoff.
So Ashford will stand at the 40 at the gray field.
Brandon Bowers.
Bowers, big kick. Ashford at the 36, drops it, picks it up, tries to get away, turns, gets away from one, stumbles, bumbles, and gets his way to the 42.
Jackson Meehan first on the scene for the Santa Barbara team.
Brandon Nunez should come out at quarterback for the Hornets. Nunez brings out the team. C.J. Broy goes to the far side of the field. Jordan Tate comes to the near side of the field. 1st down and 10 at the 42-yard line for the Hornets. Their first offensive play here on campus for the Hornets. Wood goes in motion from right to left. Brandon Nunez short hops across the middle of the field on the money, and the first pass to Cameron Woods is a first down. Ryan Osborn, didn't I say tight end, tight end, tight end?
You did indeed, and I feel like we talked to someone about the tight ends this last week on the coaches show, and that's someone being tight ends coach Chris Dixon. He mentioned you can look for Woods a lot early on this season, and they expect for him to be a big leader on offense.
Nunez gets a high snap again, handles it well, nice handoff up the middle, gain of 4 on the play. So that big offensive line opens up a hole, and a nice run by Garnett Davis III. Davis switches from right to left, takes power to the left-hand side. Smith out to left. Davis goes in motion. We're going to get a little motion on that big offensive line. Can't hide when you're big, Corey Neyland. And that's what happened there.
Walking backward penalty on the Hornets.
So Leland Smith to the near side of the field. Davis still in the back. Woods to the far side of the field. Levias in the slot next to Wood. Second down 11. Brandon Nunez keeps it himself. Quarterback keeper, you'll see that a lot by the Hornets. Gets down to the 34-yard line, a manageable third down.
Yeah, and running behind an offensive line of Nicholas Siatanuu, Dalton Brown, Andrew Sanders II, Brandon Romo, and Sammy Garcia, experienced offensive line for the Hornets.
Davis goes in motion, swing pass out to the right, finds a hole, first down for the Hornets. Garnett Davis III, a versatile running back.
Yeah, he can do that. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. Limited carries last year, but when he did, he shined almost 7 yards per carry.
Smith still far to left. They go back to the right side of the field. Quick little pass, just an easy out, gain of 4 on the play. And like you say, use the pass as part of the running game.
Yeah, you have to. That's just a wide pitch, and Levias.
Sideline pass to Austin Davis.
So that was caught over there
So that's 2 catches
by
for
Levias. Second down and a long 8 or even a longer 7. We get motion on the play. That's the second penalty. And hiccups early in the season? Or you're saying, no, this shouldn't happen?
First game,
Okay.
big game. It happens. Sammy Garcia with the jump.
Corey Neyland says that's okay.
Defense, Matt Crotu, middle linebacker for Santa Barbara. Will Smith is a captain. Sean McGee once in the secondary spot.
Tate and Gonzalez out wide to left. They hand it straight up tackle. Nice little gain again by Davis. So you said a seldom used running back is getting worked early in this game.
And up front, Armin Osborn, Grant Hessler, who was an all-conference performer last season, gets the start up front along with Benji Rodriguez. Keenan Stokes in the middle, along with Joseph Olson, Johnny Cuevas Gillis, and Kerry Kush.
Third down. Brandon goes across the middle of the field. On the money. First down. Perfect pass to Christian Stewart on a slant pattern. Hits him on the dead run.
And that's what you didn't see last year from Brandon Nunez consistently. He may have made that throw every once in a while, but this year he's going to get a chance to shine.
Davis still in the backfield. Nunez stays in the game. Hagen in the slot on the left-hand side. Fade pattern in the corner, incomplete. One-handed attempt, couldn't pull it in. It's going to bring us second down and goal.
Leland Smith couldn't come up with it, but again, Brandon Nunez put it on the money for a one-handed try. And Ryan, this offense looks like it could be special.
Well, you guys were mentioning Garnett Davis. You know, we talked to him last year on the coaches show, and we asked him what type of running back he is. He said, if I can find the contact, I will go through it to make a play.
Nunez, quarterback keeper, touchdown Hornets. Well, okay, guys, I'm going to go to you two first. Josh Calvin was the leader last year. Brandon, if he'd make a mistake, got yanked. Now it's his team initially. He looks good on the first couple drives.
Yeah, we didn't have a problem with Brandon Nunez. He just needed time to grow. and play. So this is his season. He's got a good command of the offense. And Ryan, you think he can be an all-conference.
Oh, absolutely. When you take a look at the way that he's able to command that offense as well, we saw it in the Mount Sac game. We saw him have the ability to step in whenever he needed to for Josh Calvin, and it's like the offense continued to click. So when he's on, Fullerton College, it's like a machine that is well-oiled.
So the ball is spotted, and Full Bears' first attempt for an extra point. Corey Neyland's field goal kicker gets it through quickly. You liked him last year as a field goal kicker.
Yeah, I mean, he's one of the few. And he was an All-American, All-Conference, as we mentioned. He's got a chance to be really consistent this year. And, you know, actually he could be a better kicker this year than last year.
So Full Bear adds that extra point. 7-0 with 10:24 to go here in the first quarter. Joe, Ryan, Corey, and the old guy here on Sportsnet, USA.net. So still, I know you got better eyes than me. Chan on the far side of the field?
Chan is on the far side of the field. Near side of the field, it looks like it's going to be Cameron Green.
Okay, so Green to the near side. Caden Chan to the far side. Chan's going to let it hop, takes it, looks up the middle, dashes, turns, has a blocker out in front of him. Boy, I tell you what, Corey Neyland, if he could have got Ryan Gilliam to throw an extra block, he might still be running.
And that defense for the Hornets. Up front is going to be Carlo Torres, who really had a heck of a season last year before he got injured. Jordan Crawford, Ant Harris, all conference. Eric Hale, all conference, not Blake, but Eric, is up front, and he could be the defensive player of the year. Chris Harm in the middle for the Hornets. On the left side of him, Jeremiah McNeely, who was an All-American last year, and Branson Tita Noir, athletic, on that right side.
Doherty comes out. Green and sought. Doherty goes back. Pocket starts to sag. Sort of short arms out over the middle of the field, trying to get Cameron Green sneaking out.
Good coverage by Tita Noir. Secondary for the Hornets, Taden Smith is one safety. Kadari Kearns is back at the other safety. Near side corner is Jamari Griffin, and the far side corner will be Ty Milton.
2nd down and 10, right at the 40. McLennan. Doherty at quarterback. Hornets sneak up defensively. They're coming. Doherty looking for an opening. Ricochet shot off the middle. Thought a little quick attack on Jackson Meehan when he tried to catch the ball. A little early contact, no flag, like the fact that the referees are letting him play. 3rd down and 10 from the 40. So Meehan, a name you should hear a lot this year if you're a Santa Barbara fan. Doherty, strong arm, big kid, can wing it. 3rd down and 10. Defense so far hasn't allowed a first down in this game. Chan goes to the far side of the field. McLennan, near side of the field. Doherty goes back. Looked for Chan, didn't. Short arms his pass across the middle of the field. Never an opportunity to be caught. And that brings up another 4th down. As Green had a short arm, he was open, but the ball was short arm.
Yeah, the rush, Carlo Torres, C.J. Nesmith was in there providing pressure. And it's difficult when you're throwing off your back foot, so Doherty really hasn't really been able to step into his passes just yet. And Ashton is back deep.
Quentin Ashford.
Excuse me.
Quentin Ashford back. High ball. Ashford calls fair catch. And it takes the AstroTurf. Is it still AstroTurf? Is it just turf? Down at the 2-yard line. So with 9:59 to go and your Hornets up by 7, it's the Hornets 7, Santa Barbara 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Discount Markets located on Raymond, right between Commonwealth and Chapman. If you're looking for a great product at great prices, walk on in there. Meet Sam, the manager. She'll let you know what specials are going on. They do the best for you as a consumer. And if you like to shop, that's the place to go. First down and 10 for the Hornets, right at the 3-yard line. We'll see if they can make that 97-yard drive here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Nunez under center. Keeps him himself. Looking for a little room. The scrum says, no, I don't think so. So we'll see if they mark him across the 5, which they do. So they're going to say gain of 2 on the play. It'll be a 2nd down and 8. Jordan Tate comes on the near side of the field. Runner off the right side, trying to get it, but a quick closure by the Vaqueros.
And Vakapuna on the carry. No gain.
So we got a little hanky. And it's going to be offsides. So offsides against the Hornets.
Ball at the 11-yard line, 2nd and 3.
Nunez rolls out, goes back across, caught out of no man's land. And Corey, it looked like it was just being thrown away, and you get that great catch from Bills cutting across the middle of the field. Oh, you're saying it was Woods who caught it? Okay, so Corey corrects me. It was Cameron Woods who caught that one.
And he's got a chance to be another All-American season. He could be the best tight end, and no hyperbole, in community college football.
Ryan Osborn currently off the air with us here on sportsnetUSA.net. So it's been tight end making the big catches. Something, okay, let me throw it at you. Wait a minute, you're going to tell me that Garrett Campbell is going to be the coach that resurrects the tight end here at Fullerton College?
Well, you have to. Cameron Woods, 12 receptions last year, but he was more than that. He blocked, and he's an all-purpose tight end, but 12 receptions, 5 of those were for touchdowns. So he's an important cog in the Hornet offense. Yeah. So he's one of those guys who, on that trick play against Mount Sac that Ryan remembers well, makes that catch.
Well, if you watch that footage, Ryan Osborn gets credit for that because he watched that play. So Nunez comes back out. So I thought it was Vakapuna that's out there at running back. It looked like a different number to me, but maybe I'm wrong. Thrown out of bounds by Nunez. Corey Neyland's trying to get confirmation on this because, so I thought it was Vakapuna at running back. Vakapuna is, he's going to find out if that's the same thing I've got. So he's checking that for me. So I've got, we're getting numbers checked here because the roster did change. Nunez throws it out here quickly in the flat, caught in there by Stewart.
And Stewart's one of those guys last year as a freshman, sometime at the wide receiver position, but this is his year to really step up. He showed significant game in his few possessions last year.
So we were correct. 2nd down and an inch. Nunez flicks at middle of the field. Ball caught there on a collision to Fox Hagen.
They're actually going to say that he didn't maintain possession all the way to the ground. So
wow, it was a heck of a catch. And Ryan, I couldn't really tell from up here. Bang, bang play, so they called it incomplete.
Well, Marky, look
and there's a flag on the play too, Ryan, so that's why we're moving it back. Wouldn't have mattered if he caught it.
You and I were talking to the team about the athleticism that this program might have this upcoming season, and they mentioned the wide receivers are going to be very good athletes. They have good verticals, good hands as well, so be on the lookout for them. Balls that you wouldn't see in the past get caught, these guys have the ability to.
So Vakapuna at running back. Want to make sure you know that's who's out there. We had him marked down. In motion, it's going to be Broy. Vakapuna gets it, drops his head. Looks like a small little tank running the football, doesn't he?
Tank met by Kerry Kwashija. And I know I butchered that one, so we're just going to call him Kerry, 5'11", out of Katy, Texas.
Jordan Tate to the far side of the field. C.J. Broy to the near side of the field. Vakapuna, running back, moves from left to right. Now in motion is C.J. Broy. He comes in a little. Nunez goes back. Middle of the field. Broy is all alone. Hand catch. Now he's going to dance. Looks for an opening. 5 Vaqueros rope him and bring him down with a big first down.
Tackle by Tyrone McCoy. But again, Brandon Nunez had time to throw and makes a good pass as C.J. Broy found a soft spot in the zone. And he picks up a big old gain, 10, 20, 30, 35 yards.
Nunez goes back, looks again, saw Broy, looks across the middle. He throws it into traffic on the 91, and fortunately, the traffic slowed down. Incomplete pass.
Telegraphed it. He was looking for Cameron Woods on a post pattern. 3 Santa Barbara players converged on him.
Foxhagen goes far to the right. In the slot next to him on the right-hand side is Christian Stewart. To the near side of the field, Leland Smith. Nunez keeps it himself on a fake, takes it up the middle. And I tell you what I like about the little running back they got out there. He takes the fake, and then he looks to throw a block as the lead running back.
Yeah, Croteau makes the tackle.
Gain of 6. It's a workable 4 yards for the Hornets just inside the 20. We're at 6:28 to go. Vakapuna gets hit once, gets hit twice. That tractor is still running. So Michael Vakapuna gets what he needs to do, drops a shoulder. 5'8", 215 pounds from Hawaii. Hey, I actually got a Hawaii name right. This is pretty good. It's going to be a good season. I'm 1 for 1.
First and 10. Give him that red zone love.
So it's 1st and 10, just short of the 10-yard line. Nunez taking time. Watch for Woods in the slot here. Nunez hands it off to Vakapuna. Changes direction. Corey, you got to like that. He stops on a dime and cuts back.
Yeah, he doesn't overcommit on the hole. And, Ryan, you see the cutback, that offensive line. You talked about it yesterday, that they're big and they're good.
Yeah, they have a lot of size. They're averaging nearly 6'2", 6'3" on that O-line, which isn't exactly very common at the community college level. So this is a big boost for Fullerton. They're extremely physical is what we're told.
Nunez says, let me take it again. Should be touchdown. Touchdown Hornets. 5:15 to go in the first quarter, and they've got 2, shall we say, methodical drives for touchdowns?
Well, you got to say methodical because that was 97 yards.
Well, I'm almost 97 years old, and I don't call my life anymore methodical. I call it sporadic.
Sporadic don't score touchdowns.
Oh, okay. There we go. Ryan, after we wait to see if Full Bear makes this, ball is bobbled. Full Bear says, watch me. Oh, I can't run. I'm a kicker. Gets leveled right there. And Ryan Osborn, I am going to bring up, I got to go back to you again because you talked to Donnie, the head coach. He said the freshmen of this offensive line were chasing out possible starters who were coming back from last year, that this is a deep offensive line for the Hornets.
Yeah, that was one of the things that was interesting in talking with Donnie Lobendon about this group. We asked him, hey, what do you have with this group? in years past, what he's looked at us and he said, okay, we're a little young, or we're very experienced, or we're undersized, but they know how to play the O-line. What he told us this year is that the freshmen that he has, the new incomers, are extremely tenacious, and they make other guys worried. They make other guys have to battle for their spots. One thing that was really interesting, Mark, he said no spot on the O-line was a given. And that's a huge thing for Fullerton College when you're trying to get into a playoff race.
Yeah, absolutely. Look at Chan trying to get him back in here. Realize this Santa Barbara team averaged almost 46 points a game last year, but that was last year. Big leg. Green bobbles it, gets it off his hand, looks good to the outside, tries to turn the corner. He is tracked down, and special teams dealt with special teams need to do. Got a flag near the 20 with 5:09 to go. It's the Hornets 13. So Corey said block in the back is what he thinks it is. Block in the back, like Corey Neyland called. So that's going to move Santa Barbara back. So Santa Barbara said, well, if you can go 97, we're going to try and match you on this next thing. Corey, they did average almost 46 points a game last year. They scored 86 against LA Southwest. They were a prolific offense last year at Santa Barbara.
Yeah, they lose 7 key all-conference performers and their starting quarterback. They don't have a starting running back that's coming back. Cameron Woosley was a guy who was returning, who got the most yards last year.
So it's first down and 10 at the 8. They got 92. They want to see if they can match. They decided to go with a run play, trying to get the outside. Gets a little ground on that as there was a hole, then a little skirmish as Prince Borton was the running back out of Houston, Texas. Sure, they have to have a player that's got a name Prince. That ought to help me. Gain of, I'm going to say almost 5. So I'm going to make it second down and 5 for the Vaqueros. 4:38 to go. We're in the first quarter here on the first home game ever at Fullerton College on SportsNetUSA.net. Big drive for Santa Barbara. They need to find some momentum, and they get it right up the middle. And Corey, that's what they need to do. Call down on the play, but they have to run right at the Hornets, and that's what they do again with Borton.
Yeah, and Mohamed Hassanu makes the stop, and Hassane made the tackle on special teams. He's wearing 43 in blue. Chris Harms still in the middle. Jeremy Naborn is on that far side linebacker. Eric Hill still far side. C.J. Nesmith on the left side in. Ant Harris.
Going in motion was Sundquist. Ball comes out.
And it's going to be recovered by Chris Harm.
So the Hornets defense with 3:46 here in the first quarter come up with a big turnover. And in doing so, the Hornets, well, at this stage of the game, we might be talking about players that the first game of the season, they actually walk on the field.
Yeah, and Ryan, I believe it was, 5 out of the top 8 tacklers for the Hornets came back this season.
Yes, you are correct on that, and that is one of the things that Coach Garrett Campbell mentioned to us actually earlier this week. Is he said he's looking at a lot of these guys on the roster having already played in a collegiate football game. So not just, having seen the sideline, but having played in a collegiate football game. So one thing to look for is a lot of these Hornets aren't really going to be shocked by the speed of the game. They're just going to be right in there trying to contribute.
New quarterback in the game for the Hornets, Garrett Larson, now on the field. So Nunez did his thing so far. We bring a new quarterback on the field. Larson, first down and 10, goes back, has time to throw, feels pressure, runs to the outside, probably gets a gain of a half a yard on the play.
6'4", 220, sophomore. Bounce back from Davis.
Saw him in practice. Ryan Osborn had a nice little arm.
Yeah, that was one of the things, too, that you had actually talked to the coaching staff about. How will these quarterbacks be used in the first matchup for Fullerton College? What we were told is everyone's going to at least be able to see some action.
Levias goes out left. They hand it off straight up the middle and give it to Garnett Davis the third. So Garnett Davis the third didn't really get anything.
So Benji Rodriguez, 6'1", 205 out of San Marcos High School in Santa Barbara.
It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 14 for the Hornets. Put it at about the 28.
Hornets looking at a 3rd and 14.
Leland Smith comes to the near side of the field. In the slot next to him is Titan Milton. Throw it over in the flat. Just a little flat pass, Corey Neyland, and there was nothing there to get any room, even when you catch the football.
Nah, had nowhere to go. Levias was there, but 4th down and 12 in Santa Barbara territory.
Go for it.
Yeah, good chance for this Fullerton College, and let's see what Garrett Larson can do with the arm.
So we move Foxhagen to the near side of the field. Outside of him on the near side of the field is going to be Austin Levias. So Garrett Larson, big 4th down for the Hornets. We get, gee, do you think there was motion on the field? I tell you what you do, Ryan. If you can't run, like Jeremy Gonzalez says, let me get a head start on everybody out there.
Jeremy, so go ahead, Ryan.
No, I was just going to say, you take a look at that right side of not just the O-line, but you also had some of the receivers taking off on that mark.
Yeah, so Jeremy Gonzalez says, I just want to show you, Coach, I break quickly off the line of scrimmage. So Gonzalez will stay in the slot. Next to him is going to be Levias. And right in the middle of those two, Foxhagen. Larson gets a fake, gives a shoulder, gets away from one, can't get away from the onslaught by the defense of the Vaqueros.
Good pressure. Grant Hessler was first on the scene. 6'3", sophomore out of J. Sarah. And from the city of Temecula, forces Larson out of the pocket, and the rest of them bring him down. So good defensive stand by Santa Barbara after giving up 2 straight scores.
So with 1:29 to go, it's the Hornets 13, Santa Barbara City College 0 here on Sportsnet USA.net. Well, the defense steps up for Santa Barbara. The Hornet offense sputters that time around. And so when we thought they might be just cruising, is everybody up on the balcony and maybe in the cold room is watching the game here on Sportsnet USA.net with Gabby Neyland. Coming out far to the near side of the field is Caden Chan. Chan, one of the big ones that has done it for them last year, looking to get that pass set to him. We'll see what happens. They run it straight up the middle again. Gain of about 2 on the play. They're going to mark him down right at the 35-yard line.
2 new corners for the Hornets, near side 16, Mo Gamage, and we'll see if that's right next week. And number 13, Bryant Meredith on the far side. Cornerback new DeJuan Grant, number 29, joins Kadari Kearns.
So Borton stays in the backfield. Dougherty at quarterback. Chan comes to the near side of the field. Mihan in the slot. 2nd down and 8. Here comes the pressure. Maybe a little motion. Everybody stays up. Going deep. They got him beat. What a catch with his hands. Pulls it in. 1st down. Cameron Green hauls it in for the Vaqueros.
So the product of Avon High School in Indiana. Specifically Naptown, Indiana. Great catch going up against Meredith. And Meredith was falling and trailing all the way. Great pass by Doherty.
Borton stays in at running back. Chan in the slot on the left side. Doherty at quarterback. Tight formation. They fake it to Borton. Pressure comes. Turn the corner. Short of the line of scrimmage, so a sack for the Hornet defense.
I think they're going to give him no gain as LeBaron Kennedy Jr. makes the stop. He could have gotten his first sack of the season, but they're going to be generous. No, he didn't get back there. So first sack of the season goes to LeBaron Kennedy Jr.
So that brings us to the end of the first quarter. It's the Hornets 13, the Vaqueros 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Like always, we want to thank our sponsor for making this game possible on Sportsnet, USA.net. Corey Neyland and I both shop at Discount Market in Fullerton, located in Raymond between Chapman and Commonwealth. I tell you what, walk in there. Sam, who's one of the managers in there, whatever you need, she'll find it for you. And I tell you what, the best rates, the best food, the best quality, Discount Markets on Raymond in Fullerton. Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland, Joseph Pavlenko, the producer for this game tonight here on SportsNetUSA.net, and for the pregame show we had tonight on KBPK. A successful night for the first home game ever here at Fullerton College. And guys, you know what? They got a pretty nice turnout when you think about the crowd here tonight. Corey Neyland likes it, seeing a crowd at a community college football game.
Yeah, I didn't think this was actually going to happen.
You didn't think the game was going to be here, did you?
No, I didn't. Like I told you and I told Scott earlier, I didn't think this was going to happen until kickoff occurred, and still I may be skeptical.
Doherty stays in at quarterback. 2nd and 21. 2nd and 11. I was said 21. Doherty hands it straight off the middle. What a move. Beautiful block by the line of scrimmage. And a great game. Corey Neyland on a counter play. The offense on a delay opens up a huge hole.
Yeah, Jake Foy runs right by him. Dominique De Los Rios on that left side helps him maneuver for that almost first down. Darian Parker, number 78 as well up front. Darren Parker, I'm going to say brothers because Roseville High School in Detroit on that left side of the line. Joe Becerro, all-conference offensive line last year. David Bean the third, and wraps up that front.
Foy stays in at running back. Doherty at quarterback. Chan far side. They hand it off to Foy again. Hey, if you were good once, let's see if you can be good again. So it's going to bring up a tough fourth down.
Jeremiah McNeely makes the tackle. He was an All-American last year, and he was one of those guys, Ryan, that you didn't think he was on the field until you needed a big play, and you look up and he was the team's second leading tackler.
And that's kind of what we have heard from the alumni all days. The Hornet family is not necessarily about all grabbing glory and making headlines. It's about doing your job.
They're going to get behind and, hey, we've seen this play. Push the quarterback as far as you can. Can we get him there for a first down? We'll see where they mark it. And it's going to give him a first down. So Santa Barbara brings in all the beef, very little vegetable on that burger, and they get the first down.
Yeah, it's one of the Parker brothers who was there who pushed, and that is going to be Darian Parker, 6'3", 300 pounds, redshirt freshman. Let's hope the young man is okay as he sits and lies at the 20.
So we have a player down at the field. Timeout at the field with 13:21 to go here in the first half. It's the Hornets 13, the Vaqueros 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Next week, College of the Canyons. Yeah, we're taking a road trip. Early in the season, Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn, guys, let's saddle up, get up early, get class out of the way, and then take off running as we've got to make it up. Are we stopping at Magic Mountain? I guess not, right? We're going straight to the college, getting something to eat?
We don't go actually that far.
Okay.
Luckily.
But when we head down south.
We're still getting something to eat.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, breakfast. Breakfast is on
Chili
me.
dogs. Woo! I heard Corey Neyland say breakfast.
Something that can be had for breakfast but isn't a breakfast food.
Thank you, Mr. Osborne.
You know what? That's why you're way over there out of sight. Out of sight, out of mind.
And right. See, that rhymes.
Doherty comes in. First down for the Vaqueros, right across the 20-yard line. Looking to get on the board. If they can get in, this is a tight ball game. Big offensive set. Run the pitch the outside. Go left. Turns back at the tackle position. Gets a gain of 2 on the play. Prince Borton gets a little, but not much.
Harmon McNeely there again on the tackle.
Borton stays in at running back. 12:32 to go here in the second quarter.
And guys, you see the talent that Santa Barbara does have up front. And Doherty looks to be a good quarterback behind him. They just need to catch their rhythm.
Watch Sundquist, the tight end, to the near side of the field, just off tackle. Doherty goes back, goes the far side, cuts the middle. On the money pass, Corey Neyland to Chan, and that's an easy first down.
Yeah, and it looked like he froze the safety. And DeJuan Grant was there. If he comes up and reads that, he may have a chance for an interception. But again, he drops back for the outside receiver. Chan maneuvers in front and picks up that first down at the 6.
So Chan comes through. Doherty now moves him a little bit closer. First and goal. Right 7-yard line. Doherty looks at it. Prince Borton at running back. Out here all by themselves. Get a little motion. Go up the middle. Borton tries to go off of right tackle. Really, the defensive caves in quickly.
Yeah, Harmon Crawford. They converge, and looks like a loss of 1.
It's going to be a second and goal, so they said second and 8. They started at 7, loss of 1 on the play. Lots of time here in the first half, 11:06 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Watch out for Doherty, the big guy. I'm still going to say watch out for that tight end. Sundquist, 6'3", 215-pound tight end. I might be looking for him. They run the pitch again with Borton. Tries to go to the outside. Gets to the corner, really can't turn it upfield.
Yeah, Fullerton's pursuit is really impressive.
So we'll bring up a second and goal. Just short of the 5.
And for Harm, that's his 5th tackle already.
So they've run it twice, haven't looked to put it in the air. If Nunez was in there, you would think they would have a quarterback keeper. Third down and goal for Santa Barbara. There's the pass. Corey Neyland fade into the corner. Out of bounds, and boy howdy, that play was there.
Yeah, it was, and what it was is it was an out and up, and you don't really see out and ups that close to the sideline. DeMar Ward was out of bounds when he made that catch, and when he went out, he went up and he was out of bounds while he was running and makes the catch. It was a beautiful play, but again, you got to know where you are on the field.
So 4th and goal for Santa Barbara. Be another big stop for the Hornets with 9:57 to go if defense can do it. If you're Santa Barbara, you need to get in. Doherty feels the pressure. Middle of the field, short. Had a receiver open. Quarterback gets smothered. No flag on the play, and defense stops him one more time.
Ryan?
Yes, sir.
I was going to say he had Harm. I was going to let you say that Harm would put the pressure on because he had Sundquist wide open. So if he has that extra second to even throw the ball, he didn't even need to step into it, but if he had that extra second to throw the ball, that's 6 points. But again, Chris Harm, 5 tackles total, 1 fumble recovery, and 1 quarterback hurry, all in this first half.
Nunez comes back in at quarterback. Looks like Bacapuna stays in at running back. Little motion. Nunez rolls out. Here comes the pressure. He's got to find somebody open. Throws it downfield. Incomplete pass. So he looks for, and I think, was that Fox Hagen that he looked for? Wait to see who gets up. Yep, that's what I got.
You're going to have to ask him if it's Hagen or Hagen.
Yeah, I'm saying Hagen.
Haugen or Hagen.
Or Hagen.
I'm going to go Haugen.
Corey will say it one way, I'll say it the other way, and we'll both be wrong, but that's okay. Something that would be new to us.
Fox.
Love it. 2nd down and 10 for the Hornets. Defense for the Vaqueros wants to step up. Straight up the middle. They're not giving up much on that one, Corey. Big 3rd down play with 9:40 to go here in the first half.
Yeah, Hessler makes the stop. First team All-American Pacific League. 6 sacks last year with 9.5 TFLs.
Guys, one of the big things that I enjoy about having this field upgrade here and hosting a matchup on campus, you take a look at the balcony over to our left, all the Fullerton College Hornets.
Nunez, across the middle of the field, incomplete pass. And Corey on that one, he wasn't even close to Leland Smith.
No, and that time the Santa Barbara rush put some pressure on Nunez, and Will Smith, 6 feet out of San Diego, puts the pressure. Nunez had to throw before his receiver came out of his break. Good defensive stand.
Nana. You want to help me on this one? I want to make sure I get it right.
That is Luke Mamana.
Thank you, Ryan. Boy, leave me out here swimming by myself. High punt, taken at the 47. Looks to find an opening. Stays on their feet all the way down the 40. Beautiful return by Santa Barbara. Corey Neyland. Good field position. They should have scored last time they were down there. They have another opportunity with 8:55 to go here in the first half. The Hornets up 13-0. 2 big quick drives, and now it's been a slugfest on the field. It'll be 1st down and 10 at the 41-yard line. They're moving from right to left on this dark and light gray field of the Hornets. Big Hornet in the middle of the field. Hand it straight off the right side. Nice run again by Prince Borton, who he's looked good, especially when they give him the outside and they've got a little room to roam. He's done it well as a running back. Gain of 6 on the play. So it's going to be 2nd down and 4. Borton stays in at running back. So 8:25 to go. They're looking to get Caves going. Nice fake. Time to throw it. Open down the middle of the field. Into a crowd. Taken down and caught in the middle of the field. What a catch there by Cameron Green.
Yeah, about 36 yards. And again, it looked like he came down, but it was a heck of a catch. Even though the ball hit the ground, his hand was underneath that ball. Both hands were on it. That's the 2nd catch in a row for Green.
So Green comes up big. Is Doherty. We're going to get timeout on the field. Have a player that a little shaken, and he's going to stop having a hard time. So smart to let the trainers. Is that Green, Ryan?
That is Green.
You are correct.
So, Ryan, you've got a little better angle than we did when you were watching that. Did he come down and whack the head on this artificial turf?
It looked like that was the case, that when he went up for the football, it didn't have the opportunity to brace himself as he came down. And that's one of the things, too, Mark. You look at a brand-new field. You and I have walked this field compared to what it was before.
Yeah.
The differences in the turf. You look at how this one has a little bit more give, a little bit more carpet to it as well. you have to wonder how it's going to positively, negatively, we'll see in the future, affect the athletes as they continue to play here.
So he gets off the field, thank goodness. Excellent football player. Doherty brings him out, knocking on the door with 7:48 to go. Straight up the middle, Prince Morton just couldn't get there. Just short by about 2 yards, but a nice run sets him up.
So Branson again.
2nd and goal. Yeah, they've been there twice now, Corey Neyland. They really do need to come away with a touchdown. You're going to say field goal's okay?
I think they need to come away with some points.
Okay. Ryan, some points or a touchdown?
No, I think they need to make a statement before the half. They need a touchdown.
Okay, 7:10 to go. Mark and Ryan agree. That means majority wins. Majority's always right. Corey Neyland, once again, we apologize. Get timeout on the field. As Garrett Campbell said, let's call a quick timeout with 6:58 to go. 6:58 to go here in the first half. It's the Hornets 13, the Vaqueros 0 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. We want to thank everybody that came and visited. Bob Abbott, it was a nice little interview that we had with Bob out there today.
Dennis Duncanson.
2-player sport that was out there, got waved at by Brian Crooks. So that's the Crooks family. All of them played here at Fullerton College.
Jeff Crooks holds a couple passing records for Fullerton College.
And then we had I'm still waiting to see what the outcome is on best facial hair. I think I won it by a landslide, personally.
You and Kirk Dodge both battling. See, one of the things that I thought was funny as it was brought up to me, Kirk Dodge and you complete each other's facial hair.
Yeah, well, you know what? I like the fact because I won overall body, so I was feeling bad for him. I thought he might get beard. Borton goes straight up the middle. They give him a touchdown. Santa Barbara with 6:54 to go, and they've slipped their way back into the game.
We got a lot of flags at the end here. 2 guys were twisted up. Borton was at the end of it. Hornets are going to ask for a little bit of an embellishment at the end. Borton, however, is going to contend that he got twisted down well after the play.
So we'll see what we're waiting for the officials. Touchdown counts. Personal foul against the Hornets. Ryan, he saw what you just described. So the score will be there as we get ready for the extra point, and now it becomes a nail biter with 6:54 to go. Corey Neyland tells you how well Santa Barbara, 10-1 last year. They won 10 straight games to get into the Beach Bowl, where they beat College of the Desert. So Simmons gets ready. Ball will get spotted. Ball is spotted. Kick is up. And the kick is good. With 6:54 to go, it's now Fullerton 13, Santa Barbara 7 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. You know, when they said this was Swarm City, I didn't think they meant the amount of flies I've seen tonight at this thing. I thought Swarm City, Ryan Osborn, represented Hornets.
Well, Mark, you know what is interesting? You and I have been out at this field for a long time, and we haven't seen that before until today.
Yeah, just amazing, isn't it?
It is indeed. And once again, we want to thank everyone who joined us earlier on that reception stream and is joining us now as we have the Fullerton College Hornets live and in action in their first home matchup on campus in program history. Don't forget, coming up next week, we've got more Hornet football.
So Santa Barbara back in the game.
Kadari Kearns back deep on the near side, and the far side, somebody.
In blue and white?
Yes.
Oh, well, that's a good thing.
White.
That's a good thing. Kearns near side of the field. Somebody should have washed these windows. It's getting foggy in here.
Miles Brown, possibly.
So Kern's going to let it go over his head, bounces into the end zone for an automatic touchback. 6:54, 13-7 here. First home game ever. You know, somebody's going to tell you that once was a home game here. Yeah, there was a home game played in the property area, but that property area belonged to Fullerton High School. So therefore, if people want to argue there was a game played here, yes, there was, but it was not part of the Fullerton College area. I know there's going to be old people like me that are going to say, you're wrong. They played there. I was there. I saw it.
Start mulling your choices now for the snack bar.
Nunez comes back out at quarterback. First down and 10 at the 25 for the Hornets. C.J. Broy to the near side of the field. C.J. had a great season last year. Nunez, straight dive play up the middle. Little spin, little cutback. Garnett Davis the third gets a gain of 4 on the, well, they're going to give him 5 on the play.
Wasija with the big hit, 33 and white.
So Davis stays in. Garnett Davis the third. Nunez at quarterback. C.J. Broy to the near side of the field. Second down and 5 at the 30. Broy goes in motion. Broy goes down the middle. Broy's looking fat and it's, should have been picked.
And makes the play again, that free safety. Wasija almost makes the play one-handed. And with 6:16, if he makes that catch and makes that interception, Santa Barbara's in good field position and good momentum to take a lead.
Hagen goes out in the slot to the far side of the field. Nunez needs to lead Broy on that and make him run underneath the ball. Here they come. Nunez. And there's the pick. As Nunez throws it short, and it's Matt Croteau picks it off there.
Same thing. Got away with one, should have been interception. Couldn't get away with the second, was Croteau just laid back as a linebacker. Got in that spot, goes up high. And Santa Barbara's sitting pretty.
So Santa Barbara's defense comes up and makes the play. Big turnover right at the 27. And now we'll see what Doherty can do. Prince Borton comes out at running back. He's looked good tonight. Doherty hopefully can find somebody open. See if they give it to Borton, start things off. No, they come after Doherty. Nobody comes up the field. He decides to throw. And Corey, that's one he should have pulled down and taken off running because the defensive end crashed. He had the outside.
Carlo Torres was chasing and chasing and chasing. He had at least 3 yards to get to the outside, maybe get out of bounds. Could have picked up 5, turning it up the field.
We're at the 6-minute mark here in the first half, and now it's become a little, felt pretty comfortable when we first started. Now you're thinking, hey, is the reception still open? I'm heading back up there. Doherty comes out. Once again, Borton in there. This is the time you may want to throw it to him. Green has looked good. They give it to Borton. Borton gets over the 25, just to the 25. Corey, a field goal would be huge, making this a 3-point game.
Diego Diaz on the stop also. Eric Hale on the stop. Ant Harris on the interior with him. And also Jordan Crawford on the interior.
Green again. Watch out for Green. He has been the hands of the day. And who do you throw to? Green. Reaches down, pulls it in. There's a flag on the play.
That's going to be passive.
What's that, Ryan?
That's going to be pass interference because the defender got to him well before the ball was released and was holding him down. Maybe even holding.
Looked like
But you knew who to go to, Corey, the guy who's had the best hands on the field for you. And
Yeah.
that's what they did.
3 catches for Green. And on that play, that's a gain of 12. So he's got about 80 yards and 3 receptions. And it was a very physical play because both players had hands on each other. But again, pass interference, just like tie goes to the runner, pass interference, that always goes to the offense. So Santa Barbara stayed into it. Craig Meropoulos has his team playing well, 17th season as head coach.
So Brosterhouse now goes wide to the left. Big young receiver. Doherty under center. We get a flag on the play, so we're going to move Santa Barbara back. So we're playing a little throw the hanky with 4:59 to go here before the end of the first half.
Ball start, Santa Barbara.
So let's move them back 5 yards if you're a Hornet fan. So we'll see what happens. Brosterhouse comes out this way. Looking to go. Here comes the pressure. Pump fakes, throws for the corner. Once again, throw out of bounds, and you're going to get a flag on the play. Bumpy the receiver trying to go upfield. Ball not catchable. So what are they going to call?
You're going to call hold. Either way, it's a penalty. If they call pass interference, they'll have a discussion if it's catchable. If they call holding, it's an automatic first down and 5 yards.
So we'll see. Ryan Osborn, what'd you see?
I saw a hold. He was trying to get upfield, wasn't allowed to at least get up there.
So that's what it was. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn, better eyes than the rest of the old guys up here in the booth. So that's going to move it just down to the 4-yard line. First and goal at the 4, 4:31 to go. And now the story is getting rewritten. Well, that's what a good novel is. You look like you're coming to the end halfway through the book, and then you say, who's this character? That's what's happening in this game. First and goal at the 4. Doherty looks over, looks at his running back. His running back goes from left to right. Now he goes back to the left. Doherty says, there you go, Mr. Borton. Touchdown, Santa Barbara. So there it is. The Hortons now. The Vaqueros have an opportunity to end up. It's always happening to me during a game. Somebody's always saying, you know, I can hear Mark without a microphone. I don't know. If that's somebody in the high desert, I'm just on the right currents of travel. I've got my Zen working in the game. And then again, Corey Neyland's playing with the knobs. So what's that tell you? Santa Barbara says, well, Corey, dial with this one in. Give us a 1-point lead before the end of the first half here on SportsNetUSA.net. So Santa Barbara, who looked like, should we be here? Ball is up, the ball is good, and all of a sudden what looked like could be a beautiful day, if you're a Hornet fan, there was sunshine in the stadium, a big crowd, tears flowing from the alumni, everybody said, oh, and now they're all sitting there quietly with Gabby, watching in the cool room. Not a word's being said, as it now is Santa Barbara 14. The Hornets 13 with 4:25 to go in the first half here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Well, you look at a team that comes up from the American League last year, And now they're up in the National League, and again, they're showing they belong.
So the Hornets bobbling the way away. Need to find some magic with 4:25 to go.
Bowers with the boot. Show me run back.
And here's Kearns.
Kearns up the side, in the middle. It's got an opening. Needs to beat one.
Thank you, Kadari.
Ball comes out. They're going to call him down where he hit, and then the ball comes out.
40-yard return for Kadari out of Missouri. Or excuse me, Illinois, excuse me.
Flossmoor, Illinois.
Equals big momentum for the Hornets. Let's go, Hornets.
Brandon Nunez comes back in. Far side of the field, Levias. In the slot next to him, Foxhagen. That's what we're going to call him till it gets corrected. Nunez looks things over. Bakapuna, a running back. Nunez goes up, does not get back to the original line of scrimmage as we're at the 4-minute mark in this first half.
Great read by Smith on the read option. He wasn't going anywhere. If Akapuna, he was there. Nunez meets him, keeps it, excuse me, and Smith was right there for the stop. Smith's got a chance to be an all-conference performer this year.
Leland Smith, the near side of the field. Stewart in the slot next to him. Bakapuna, running back. Stewart goes in motion. Nunez going deep down the far side of the field, looking to get it to Smith.
And just fighting for the ball, Tyrone McCoy gets another interception. That's the second in consecutive possessions for the Hornets. Another underthrown ball. And he was looking for Leland Smith, who didn't fight for it, didn't realize it was coming to him. And second consecutive turnover for the Hornets, Mr. Osborne.
So a second turnover in that first half. Deadly. Deadly. And now the defense. Brian Crook's defense cannot be porous at this stage of the game. The Vaqueros up by 1. And the defense has played big for them tonight. Prince Borton in the backfield. Doherty at quarterback. They got a 1-point lead with 3:35 to go. They're looking to get more. Shift from left to right. They gained it up. Give it to Borton. Borton gets a gain of 2 on the play. It'll be a 2nd down and 8 for Santa Barbara.
Torres, Hill, and Ant Harris, 3 linemen, and make the tackle. And again, Santa Barbara's looking for their first win in the all-time series. Hornets lead the series 4-0. And again, the first year Fullerton College played football in 1916, one of the teams they played was Santa Barbara High School. And Fullerton won that one.
So they're hoping to get something going on. Cameron Green goes to far side of the field. A little one-on-one out there. They hand it off to Borton again. Gets up to just short of the 20.
Chris Harm tackles
Harmon Tita Noir.
So Prince Borton, nice little gain again. We're at the 2-minute mark in the first half. Well, they woke up, the Vaqueros, and you know what? They have roped in to Hornet offense. 3rd down and a long 6 yards for Santa Barbara. Green goes out once again, 1-on-1. Green, far side of the field. They ran it straight up the middle. Boy, just short.
I
Corey.
think he got it.
Do you really?
Yeah.
I thought Foy was just short. They
Flag.
got Foy at the sticks, right, Osborne? At the sticks?
To me, I think he got it as well. I think his body positioning was over top of the line that he needed to gain.
But we had a flag on the play, so it's a mute point. So we're waiting. Holding against Santa Barbara. So Ryan Osborn, Corey Neyland had a first down, but the Vaqueros gets taken away from them. And of course now Garrett is going to say, what is it? Is it a first down? If it's a first down, march them backwards. If it's not,
I still think you march him backwards. Even if you have to march him back. You take that penalty because it was going to be a first down.
so they march them back. 2-minute mark here in the first half. An exciting opening season game here in sports@usa.net. Green comes on near side of the field.
Third down, 16
Doherty says, let's run it. They do. Not even close to getting a first down on the play.
And he was tripped up by McNeely. Again, every time you need a big play, there's Jeremiah McNeely.
One thing that's interesting, guys, notice the next time that Doherty is in the shotgun, he starts to lean forward before that snap comes back.
Yeah, but if that's natural every time he does it, they're not going to call a penalty on him.
No, it's more of I'm talking more of a rhythm thing for the defensive side of the ball for the Hornets. If they can start picking up on it, it's wide open.
So we have timeout of the field with 1:41 to go. Quentin Ashford should be back deep for the Hornets, which he is. Ashford comes out, 5'11", sophomore from Smiths Station, Alabama.
Prowling midfield, number 27.
He's going to stand right at the 45. Wants to get inside, low snap. They fake it, then a run out, little drop kick, and it's going to go out to the right. And I don't call it a shake. That was a soccer kick, Corey, and he just continued to kick at the direction he was going on the soccer kick. Ryan, was it a shake?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it was. It went off the side of his foot. Yes, he tried to go with the soccer kick, kind of a running drop, if you will, but it's still a shank if it goes off the side of your foot and only gains, what, about 13 yards?
About that, yeah. So it's going to be spotted right at the 29-yard line. Brandon Nunez comes out at quarterback. Jordan Tate goes to the far side of the field. Garnett Davis III at running back. First down and 10 for the Hornets. Just inside the 30. See if they're going to run it 3 or 4 times. Nunez goes back, short arms it, across the middle. Incomplete pass. And Corey Neyland, if you watch Nunez and Ryan, I know you've got a good perspective. It looks like he's trying to aim the football.
Yeah, that's a great description there, Mark, because it looks like a pitcher who's trying to perfectly place that pitch on the inside corner instead of just letting that arm fly.
Thank you. That's what it looks like up here, but we've got a weird angle. Dive play off the left side. Garnett Davis III gets a little and none. We'll see if Jonathan Fulbear is saying, that's okay, guys, as we get a timeout.
So Cruto makes the stop, and you got to wonder what the penalty is for. Was it the celebration after the stop? Because that's a bad call if it was.
That's what they're calling, Corey Neyland, and I agree with you. I don't even see how you throw that flag. I really don't. Unsportsmanlike conduct, celebration on the field.
Unsportsmanlike conduct level against Santa Barbara.
So, home cooking?
Big home cooking.
Big home cooking. Ryan, a little pot of country stew for the Hornets.
Ball at the 14-yard line.
Garnett Davis III in at running back.
First and 10.
1:06 to go. Nunez goes for the corner. Did they call it?
Touchdown.
Touchdown Hornets. He bobbled it, pulled it in, and I wasn't sure they were going to give him the touchdown as it gets pulled in at the last second.
Touchdown Hornets.
Thank that old line for all the time in the world.
So the Hornets. Colbert comes up.
So Fulbert, the All-American, converts, and Fullerton takes a 20-14 lead with 58 seconds to go in this first half.
And Ryan, can I go back to you again one more time? We talked about him aiming and just flinging it. Even on that one, from my view, he was just trying to be too perfect.
I think that's his throwing motion, guys. I really think he has that awkward throwing motion that it looks like he's aiming everything, but he's not.
Okay. No, Corey, you're absolutely right, because I actually talked to the quarterbacking group about this, and I've talked to Brandon about it, and he's mentioned that's his style of throwing. It's not necessarily what you would see in a traditional full arm goes all the way back. It's more of like, you know what, Mark, here you go. Here's another comparison. It's more like you're throwing a dart.
Okay.
Yeah, not throwing the dirt, though. He was doing both. That's his throwing style, but you're right, Mark. He was aiming it.
Okay. So, with 58 seconds to go, the Hornets get back on top, guys. I just think it was a big, important touchdown here in the first half for Fullerton, because you could sort of feel the air going out of the stadium. They dropped a little dribbler down there. This is where you say to somebody, make sure you tackle the guy, which they do. He gets taken down right across the 20.
And that was Borton. So Borton's had a busy first half. And again, Ashford makes the stop on special teams.
So with 49 seconds to go, it's the Hornets 20, the Vaqueros 14.
Vaquero ball at the 23-yard line, 1st and 10.
And Corey, do you take a knee? Do you go deep? What do you
try to get a gain, a positive gain here. You don't want to take a knee. You still got a chance.
They throw it out here in the flat. Get a nice little initial block. Nice tackle made in the open field, because if they don't make that tackle, you still have Jackson Meehan running down the field.
And Branton is another one of those guys, Ryan, that you don't think he did much last year. He played every game. But again, he's top 8 in tackles in last season.
And it just goes back to the experience that the coaching staff was talking about. A vast majority of these guys for the Hornets have played in a collegiate game.
Brosterhouse goes to the far side. Run a straight dive play. This is where the defense just waiting for it, and that should take us to the end of the first half. So as we roll down to the end of the first half, it's going to be the Hornets 20, Santa Barbara City College 14, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ryan Osborn, Joseph Pavlenko, Corey Neyland, here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Ryan Osborn, I need to take it back not only to the pre-game ceremony we had tonight, but I'm going to take everybody back. We talked about how much Hal Sherbeck meant as a person, not just as a coach. I've got to ask you, you were there listening to these guys, how much did you think about Garrett Campbell? And everybody needs to watch the Coaches Show with Garrett Campbell. Ryan, did you think about Garrett's statements to you while you were listening to Bob Abbott and others talk about the men, not the coaches in their lives?
You know, I really did, Mark, and the reason why is I'll take it to our very last interview. We didn't get to really talk to Dennis Duncanson as much as we would have liked because we had to get over here to the football game, but you take a look at what Dennis Duncanson had for him. We talk about his family, three older brothers, and all of them come to Fullerton College to play either football or play baseball. And he had the opportunity to grow up in the Hornet family. You saw how emotional he got. You saw the fact that he got teared up, choked up, just thinking about how this program has affected his family personally. Then you look at what Garrett Campbell spoke to me about the other day on the Coaches Show. I just talked to him, hey, you know what? Do you have the opportunity to look at this program and say, I've been able to be in a unique position going from my childhood all the way until now and see different eras of Fullerton College football. And he pointed out he's not only in that unique position, but he felt that he was a part of a thread that goes through this Hornet football legacy. And you saw the emotion come out of him. You saw how much it meant to him, because this isn't just a Hornet family as a slogan. This is very literally family for him. His dad coached here. His brothers played here. He got his start in coaching here. And these guys he considers to be a part of his family. So you start thinking about Garrett Campbell. You start thinking about that emotion, and you understand what it means for these guys when you get a chance to talk to those alumni.
Well, Joseph Pavlenko, our producer, I've got him on the air right now. Corey's taking a little vacation, but he'll be back here on sports@usa.net. And, Joe, you've had the pleasure to be around this program, other athletic programs here at Fullerton College. And we've got to think, when we look at all of them, no matter the gender, this is one big family here in the athletic department.
Definitely, and even on this campus, I mean, the slogan is once a Hornet, always a Hornet, right? So I think it's a ethos, a mindset that goes beyond just athletics here at Fullerton College. It's the campus community, and I think the athletic department really takes ownership of that type of mentality, and they prove that by caring about their players, making sure that they're taken care of, making sure that they get the transfers, making sure, as you like to say, Mark, as student athletes, that this is a stepping stone that gets them onto the next level, into whatever that next level takes them to further on in life.
Yeah, and I'm going to go back to both Ryan and Joe, because they're both here on the campus all the time. These are two people that are employees here, and they're around the athletics. And let's take that one more step. I really got to reach out, Ryan. Phil Austin, he's always told you, and you've interviewed him numerous times on the Coaches Show, how much he cares for his athletes. And we've even seen him tear up when he's talking about his kids.
Yeah, and that's one of the things when you talk to Phil Austin. Remember, he went from a community college and went on to a Division I school in Hawaii, got to play there, got all conference honors at the community college level, and then also advanced as well. And then he came to Fullerton College, and what he has mentioned to us is not only when he came to Fullerton College did he learn how to coach, but he learned how to progress mentally and maturity-wise. We asked him what that meant. He said very specifically he understood what it was like to look at guys and mentor them from the high school age to becoming great men. And that's the difference that you'll see here at Fullerton College. It's not just about these athletes. It's about turning these people, these student athletes, students who are coming into college for the first time, whether it be men's programs like the football team, the men's basketball team, or women's programs like the soccer team, the water polo team as well. It's not just about the championships for them. It's about, can they help these student athletes progress and contribute and help society?
Well, and Joe, I'm going to go back to you as Ryan took us to the other side. And we won't deal with the controversy, but you see it in the softball program. The caring by the coaches in the softball program. We don't need to go up on the other aspect of what's going on. But there's two coaches with Crystal and Speedy that love their players and love their sport.
Yeah, and I think that the end of the day, that's what it comes down to, and that's what that entire, everything going on there comes to, right? It's about coaches caring about their players, wanting the best for their players, and wanting to take care of those players, whether it means better facilities, safer facilities, making sure they transfer, what have you. It's, once again, them nurturing those student athletes and getting them moving into the next chapter of their life, the 4-year school of their dreams, hopefully, or just going out and being like Ryan said with Phil Austin, maybe some guys come into the football team a little rowdy and we get them to mature up a little bit and go out and be a little bit calmer out in society.
Well, and it's one thing, just over to my left a few moments ago was Fred Williams, who's the Vice Chancellor of the North Orange County Community College District. A guy like him will also tell you, Mark, yes, you look at community colleges and you say, okay, it's a college, it's a business, it's a place people go to where they're trying to get classes and they're trying to move on and better themselves. But really, it's all about caring for the individual. That's what the North Orange County Community College District about. That's what Fullerton College is about. They're trying to care for the individual that is coming to campus and saying, hey, I either want to better myself and learn more, I want to be able to transfer and go on. Oh, my goodness sakes, we got a blast from the past over to our left-hand side here.
There it is.
We got Ricardo Zapata, who is now with the Angels and has moved on to a lot of success with the Angels.
Wait a minute. You mean he wasn't put on waivers with everybody else? Why weren't you waived? Everybody else on the team was waived.
I wasn't going to get claimed, so they didn't want to.
Oh, okay, there we hear. I've seen your work. Somebody would claim you.
I'm not saving them any money. So.
Okay, all right. Former alumni here at Fullerton College. Go ahead, Ryan.
Yeah,
Didn't
but
mean to interrupt you.
it's about the individual here at Fullerton College, how you can bring their uniqueness and help them out with what their focus is going to be. So that's the big thing here at Fullerton College, not just with the football program. You guys were talking about the softball programs as well. And yes, it is about moving people on to transfer as well, but it's how can they help each and every person, each and every individual, each and every unique personality when they step on campus.
And going on to it, it sounds to anybody who hasn't been at Fullerton College, hasn't been on this campus, heard any of the once a Hornet, always a Hornet type of chants or sayings at different meetings and events, sounds like we're shining people on. But if you watched or if you were here for the pregame festivities, the pregame speeches that were given, not just one, not just a few, not just a handful, almost everybody that went up and spoke at that event today, that was part of this program, that was a Hornet, that still believes once a Hornet, always a Hornet, all of them got at minimum choked up, and at most were fighting back tears.
Well, guys, let's be realistic. No matter what athletic program you talk about or program you talk about, because Bob Jensen was over there. You guys know how much I love Bob as a person. The people that came through the theater arts department that were encouraged by Todd Glenn, Gary Krinke, Tom Black, Art in the old days when he was here. You know what? They wanted everybody to have a future. They cared about you. They didn't say, hey, look what our numbers are. They said, where did you go? And you see that today with Bob when he sees you two guys. Bob doesn't sort of look at you and go, ugh. No, he knows who you are, and he's happy for your successes when you have them. And I think when you go to a school like that, there's only one thing you can think. My tomorrow's going to be a lot better because everybody around me cares about what my today is. And if my today's not that good, they're going to help me make my tomorrow a lot better than it is right now.
Well, Mark, just look at us three in the booth, right? You come to Fullerton College, you go under the tutelage of guys like Todd Glenn, like Bob Jensen. You have the opportunity to find something you enjoy in life and go out and do it. Myself, I came in through the program. I took a radio class just because I wanted something fun to do during my first semester of college. I loved it so much, I stayed. You look at someone like Joe. Joe came here to Fullerton College and used his experience, got himself to KTLA, and advanced as well. You look at all three of us just here in the booth, and you see the care that goes into it. You see a guy like Joseph Pavlenko who puts in a lot of extra hours here at KBP, or excuse me, over at KBPK at Fullerton College as well, to be able to say, hey, we have an opportunity to help students. You look at yourself, the voice of the Hornets, promoting what the Fullerton Hornets can do to help out these individuals. It's not just the programs. It's about the people who can help other people as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing we really love about our athletic department, our school, and how we feel about it. And you know what? It's not self-promoting, but I just have to say I'm going to mention his name because he runs sports at USA.net. All three of us have a great deal of love and respect for Mr. Ed Ford, who basically taught us the way it was. And people are going to say, boy, howdy, Ed was sort of quiet. But in his own way, he cared about everybody that walked through that program, tried to help them, and see if they would take advantage of it.
Ed Ford is also the loudest, quiet person I've ever seen. And by saying that, both Ryan and Mark in the booth smirked. because Ed and his silence sometimes will say more than Ed can actually say.
And that's the one thing, too, is that I never got to take a class with Ed. You guys got to take a class with Ed. But he, at sportsnetusa.net, helped me learn equipment I previously would not have had the opportunity to know how to operate. Now I'm at Hornet games with you guys. I've used that experience other places as well, and it continues to go along that same theme. It's not just about learning what you can do and getting yourself away. It's about how you can help someone else, and they use that experience to do the same.
Yeah, and we heard that tonight when they told us stories about Hal Sherbeck. Maybe the greatest community college football coach of all times. I know there would be arguments from right and left. If we went to Louisiana or Texas, we'd probably get arguments about it. We don't know. Well, you can go to Gene Murphy, for those of us that know Gene, who ran the football program at Cal State University Fullerton, and where Tim Burns played for Gene Murphy. Gene Murphy helped a lot of young men move on. It was nice to see Mickey Flynn tonight. We didn't get to say hi to Mickey, but we saw him. Then you go to Tim Burns, who Ryan Osborn got to deal with a lot here at Fullerton College. And we have a lot of love for Tim and Brian Crooks because we got to go to parties with them at their houses. And, you know, you look at Tim and you look at the hours he put in. Again, I know people are going to say, geez, Mark, you know, how I don't think Tim, I'm going to say it, and I'm going to keep saying it until somebody slaps me. I don't think Tim gets enough love for the championships and for what he did here.
Well, I'll just stick with the same theme that we're going with, right? We're talking about guys here at the program who help students, who help individuals. When I joined this program, it's like you've mentioned multiple times, very quiet kid who didn't want to approach anyone. Well, Mark looked at me and said, oh, by the way, we know you're quiet, but you're about to interview the head football coach of the Fullerton College Hornets, and you're about to do it every single week as well. Tim Burns never looked at me and said, you're just a student. Please stop talking to me. Every single week, he looked at me, and there were even times where he came up to me and said, hey, if we're going to do this interview, I want to do it now. I want to be on the air with you. I'm going to help you along. Sometimes, plain and simple, I was a student. I had some of the worst questions possible, and I confused myself on the air. But Tim never looked at me and said, hey, that's a terrible question. Why'd you ask it? Or he never looked at me and said, okay, I'm done. Instead, he said, this is my experience. I'm going to answer you as best I can. And he's a guy who you can look at and say, yes, 2 national championships, 7 different Coach of the Year awards in his conference, multiple conference championships, but he was also a person that we got to know.
Yeah, and Joe, you've been around Garrett Campbell, because we're going to bring Joe, because Joe wasn't always out with all the other football coaches. But you've been around Garrett, always kind when you come with us. Brian Crooks always says hi to you when he sees it. Phil Austin and you have this strange little sort of social interaction. Is that the best way to put it? With being polite on the air?
I'm sure there's a story about that somewhere.
Yeah. I mean, it really is something that really, really matters here on sportsnetusa.net.
Well, that's another thing. Like, we're thanking the coaches and everybody that we always talk to every week that makes this kind of stuff happen. We mentioned Bob Jensen on the air, helped make some of the festivities today happen. But I feel like we'd be not telling the entire story if we didn't mention some of the other people behind the scenes that helped a lot of today and just keep the program running, right? Keep the wheels on the bus, as it were. And you've got Phil Thurman and Scott Giles, who leading up to this was probably one of the more stressful weeks of their career leading into this game.
Yeah, and look what Nick did, coming through trying to get donations. Ben Vega, who runs the foundation, doing what he did today. Everybody on the staff. I mean, we were out there early. They were out there with us here today.
Yeah, and again, our thread for this story, right, our through line for what we're talking about is they're not out there to do this to then say, oh, wow, look at me, I'm so awesome. They're out here trying to get money in scholarship funds to help students, right? And that's what it keeps coming back to. That's what we keep talking about, at least, is that's the goal, is helping the student athlete, the student, succeed, get in, and then get on to whatever it is they want to do in life.
Well, one of the phrases that I'll go to that Mark, yourself, and I got a chance to hear from someone at Fullerton College a while back was the radical helping of the student. That's what Fullerton College does. It's not just, hey, we're going to help the student, move them on. How can we change your life? That's plain and simple how Fullerton College affects some people.
Well, yeah, and realize they're dealing with student athletes. And we always, in the athletic world, I don't care what level, we forget the term student. You can say, hey, they've got NIL deals. I don't care. They deserve them. Hey, they may get paid. Absolutely, because these kids out here tonight are entertaining us for free. You need to pay those student athletes. You need to give them the NIL deals. Fortunately, Corey Neal is not on the air with me, but they deserve them because of what they give us back, and we don't give them enough in return. Well, nobody's going to take me out on that one, so I'm good.
No, Marcus, it's a level of agreement with you. When you take a look at the student athletes who are now running back onto the field, here's what's also great, too. It's not just the student athletes. It's not just the alumni. What you would think in a traditional school is you would say, okay, the alumni, the students, they kind of cordon themselves off and create a divide in between them because these are guys who have played here before. These are guys who are currently on the team. That doesn't happen here at Fullerton. Like I was talking about earlier, you have all the former Fullerton College Hornets on the balcony over to our left. Then afterwards, after the game is done, they talk to the players. They give them a chance to kind of convey wisdom, convey understanding on what they can do off the field, what they can do better on the field as well. They're here to support student athletes, and that's the biggest thing for not just the players, but also the alumni as well. So as the Fullerton College Hornets get set to retake the field, we're very quickly going to give you an out-of-town scoreboard. The CCCAA, lots of scoring going on and a lot of very different, we'll say unusual scores from around the state of California. Reedley, Shasta. Reedley takes a 1-0 record into next week, 35-21. Golden West, well, plain and simple, they beat Bakersfield, 48-23, the final there, as American River just squeaks by Sacramento City College, 19-7. And one of the scores that kind of surprised me this weekend, San Mateo and Sierra. Sierra narrowly missed upsetting the #1 team in the nation with 27 fourth quarter points, and it was 37-34 the final.
That does not count, Ryan.
It is a surprising score.
No, it's a loss. A surprising score would have been Sierra beating San Mateo.
Well, we'll finish off the out-of-town scoreboard with Allen Hancock 73-14. San Francisco currently leading Santa Rosa 51-14. And Riverside and Long Beach, they're starting the third quarter. Coming out of halftime, it's a score fest over there, 28-21. And the final score that we will update you on is the team that Fullerton will play next week, Citrus 31-21 over Canyons, who Fullerton will face next week. That's halfway through the third quarter there. Canyons actually had 14 straight points to get themselves back into it. It's 31-21, Citrus with the lead.
Well, we've started the clock for the third quarter and nothing's happened yet, so I'm not sure what's going on in here. They're clicking down the clock. Corey Neyland. Ryan Osborn's going to look. Just grab something there, Ryan. It's drinkable. As Ryan Osborn's dying out there. He's out in no man's land in right field. As we get ready for the kickoff here in the second half of the first home game at Fullerton College and the opening game of the season here on Sportsnet USA.net. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn, Joseph Pavlenko, and a crowd of, well, I'd love to know the total attendance. I know it was supposed to be around 500-600 people tonight here on sportsnetUSA.net. Great turnout from Santa Barbara. Better turnout here in the city of Fullerton and at Fullerton College on sportsnetUSA.net. Fullerton will receive the kickoff to start this second half. They scored late at the end of the first half, and that's why they've got a 6-point lead. They want to continue. This Santa Barbara team will not go away, and they need to come up with an answer to realize it. Kick looking for a block on the outside. Feed, turn the corner. Nice little run back right there by Bills as he makes a great run. And Corey, they set up the block great on the outside to move him down the field. Corey Neyland. It's coming back because they set up the block so well by grabbing somebody and saying, hey, where do you think you're going? They got on the same bus. They got off on the wrong corner, and that moves the Hornets backwards. Nunez goes out. Far side of the field is Jordan Tate. Nunez looks things over. Tate to the far side of the field. Nunez, straight dive play up the middle, trying to get the offense running just a little on the play. Once again, Garnett Davis III carrying the ball. Corey didn't get a chance really to look at the stats. I don't know what Davis had on the ground as we start this second half. Davis stays in the backfield. Gain of 3, second down and 7. Hands it off to Davis. This time he's got a hole, stays on his feet, picks up a good 9 yards on the play.
In that first half, not much going. 4 rushes, 8 yards. Brandon Nunez led the way with 26 yards on the ground. He had those 2 touchdown runs and 1 touchdown pass with those 2 interceptions with 125 yards through the air.
C.J. Broy, near side of the field. They give it to Davis again, tries to get a block. Broy does what all you need to do sometimes, Corey Neyland, not throw a block, just step in front of somebody.
Get in front of somebody.
There's going to be a personal foul at the end of the play, as that will end up being Woods getting into it right at the end and pushed down a good 10 seconds after the play was whistling down. So it's going to be 15 yards the other way.
That first half for Santa Barbara, Benji Rodriguez led the way with 5 tackles and 1 tackle for loss. Matt Cruteau and Reggie Hayes make it Sean McGee. Both have 3 tackles in the first half.
So it's a first down. They move it back, and so they're going to move it down to the 30, but it will stay first down. So, Ryan, they got enough for a first down. That stays. They're calling it a personal foul, so they move it back 15 yards. This time they go down.
That's down there.
Garnett Davis gets pulled down. C.J. Broy is sort of having it. Now it's getting a little chippy around there. Broy's getting a little tough. So, you know, Corey, every time we see the Hornets do something like this, so it works against the Hornets. Bakapuna back in the game at running back. Nunez looks over. Bakapuna goes in motion from left to right. There's the flip straight across the middle to Levias. Faster than I thought he was, Corey. Levias when he catches the football. I know you always look at me and go, Mark, they're all fast. It's first down and 10 at the 45. Nunez trying to find a ribble. He gets everybody to jump. They don't give him a free play, and it'll be offsides.
Yeah, contact made in that encroachment zone. So Fullerton will be 1st and 5 from the 50. Not the 51, but the 50.
Just starting. Second half, so they move it down.
Actually, the 49-yard line, Mark.
That's it. So it's first down and 5. Bakapuna off center, gain of 2 on the play.
Olsen again steps up and makes the stop. Armin Osborn.
So a little crawl currently going on with 12:09 to go here at the start of the second half. Hornets up by 6. Nunez looks things over. See if he fakes it to Bakapuna, pulls it out, goes deep over the middle. Second down and 3. Starts Bakapuna in motion, looks to throw on the flat, nothing there. Brandon Nunez says, I can run, Corey Neyland. And he does and gets a first down.
And that's what he does, Mark. Again, he did that when he was in high school in Mesa, Arizona. And he does it here. That's what he can do well to really open up that defense. And again, he falls down. Kerry Kwashe.
Cameron Woods comes in the game now. Watch him. He's tight on the right side. CJ Broy will take a step back so he's not covered. They look over. Now he goes in the backfield. First and 10. Straight up the middle. Looking for the hole. That time, Garnett Davis gets a little room to run there. And has a little spark and giddy up. Gets a nice gain of the play on a solid 7. For Garnett Davis III.
And he's going to be a big factor in Vakapuna back in the ball game for Davis III.
Vakapuna comes on in. So second down and 4. The Hornets trying to just take hold of the game here. They thought they had it in the first half. It didn't happen. Get motion on the play.
Everybody in motion.
I was going to throw a flag on Ryan Osborn down there because I saw him peek around the corner and look at me. Hey, do one of you guys have my football?
I was going to ask you, did we get a football?
Do you want the real answer? I'll tell you off the air.
So that means no. I think we should have gotten a football. We're going to have to take it up with somebody.
Second down
no
and
consolations.
Second down and 9. Nunez, not seen, not looking behind. The ball is out. He doesn't protect it. Beautiful play from Santa Barbara on the backside
Will
strip.
Smith makes the play. He strips him, never gives up on it, and Armand Osborn makes the recovery. And Santa Barbara, that team that won the Beach Bowl last season, again, the 3rd turnover by the Hornets tonight.
Ryan Osborn, you've got to feel the pressure. I know that's a cliche statement, but you've got to feel it.
Yeah, it's tough, though, for Brandon, too, because as you saw, he was trying to get himself out of the pocket, and it was very purely on his blind side, directly behind him. He had no idea that that guy was there. It's real tough to be able to step in.
Doherty hands it off. Straight dive play. Gain of about a half a yard. For Santa Barbara.
And maybe if he was standing in the pockets as a statue, you got to feel that pressure. But when you're moving and rolling out, I think you're moving and rolling out and there's nobody coming for you. You might not feel it, but you definitely got to make a decision.
Gain of a long 1 for the Vaqueros. Green comes to the near side of the field. Prince Borton goes in motion to the far side, and then we get motion on the line of scrimmage, so we get a flag right in the middle of the field. So that's going to move them back 5 yards.
And on the offensive line, Darian Parker back in the ball game. You remember he went down in the first half, but he's back now.
So we're going to move him back 5 yards. Takes it all the way down to the 37. Second down and a long 13 with 9:12 to go here in the third quarter. And the Hornets hanging on by 6. Cameron Green comes out this direction. Barton goes from right to left. Barton comes out in the flat. Nobody looks for him. Incomplete pass.
And it looks like it was Ant Harris one more time.
And Corey, I got to ask you, because I look out there in the flat and there's Borton all by himself with room to go, yet never gets a glance.
He couldn't get a glance. I'm going to say the pocket collapsed on Doherty so much that he didn't have time to read through his progressions.
Third down along 13, right at the 37. So Borton stays in at running back. Cameron Green comes out to the right side of the field. Doherty goes back. Here comes the pressure. Pocket holds for him. Incomplete. And yeah, there should have been a flag, because I saw Ryan Osborn. Did you see that ankle grab going on there defensively?
I did not. I was looking towards the pocket.
Corey Neyland saying he didn't see it.
It's interesting on that call, on what you're going to call on Jeremiah McNeely.
You're going to say no?
I'm just going to say, because it was a late flag, you might want to let that one go. But again, that could be something where you get the call on the unsportsmanlike conduct. We'll get you back here.
Okay. So that's going to move it across the 40. Automatic first down for Santa Barbara. 8:48 to go. Well, a sluggish start to the second half. Everybody feeling too good about themselves. Cameron Green says, I'm not. I'm ready to go. Doherty needs to throw me one right about here. Doherty looks over. Hornets are bringing pressure. They go straight up the middle. Nice play by them as they hand it off to Prince Borton, who gets a Borton, 5'9", 185-pound, out of Houston, Texas.
We talk about community colleges. You remember we talked about the legacy of Fullerton College here today, and it was community, local community for both these schools that filled the rosters. Nowadays, community is statewide and worldwide, and well, countrywide, nationwide, and worldwide for the community.
You're not doing advertising right now, are you?
Why would I do advertising?
Oh, okay. I just want to make sure. Doherty says there is no advertising this. Here comes the pressure. Doherty looks for some action.
Now that was a hold.
You mean Cameron Green got grabbed and nobody threw a flag?
Yeah. Ty Milton was all on his jersey. Ron, I think you might have saw that one.
Yeah, speaking of flags, though, in the backfield, they're going to get the Hornets for roughing the passer.
So that's going to move it all the way down to the 40 with 8 minutes to go. Sort of a jumbly start to the second half, Ryan.
Yeah, and you look at the Hornets, what you and I talked about, and especially with Corey towards the back half of the season last year, is that the Fullerton College Hornets had a lot of trouble in the regular season getting out of their own way. We saw a lot of untimely penalties that slow the game down. They like to be able to move quickly, and if they're going to go in that same time frame here, they're going to have a lot of trouble picking up momentum.
Meehan to the far side. Green to the near side. They look over. High fastball, which nobody is going to catch. Corey Neyland, every once in a while you got to take a little off to give your receiver an opportunity.
Yeah, there was no way to catch that one. And again, he had the receiver, and these little short passes, they will keep the chains moving.
Second down and 10. Right at the 41. So Cameron Green goes to the far side of the field. Leo McCarthy comes back to the near side of the field. Second down. Doherty goes deep. And Doherty has a wide open Prince Borton who'd still be running if he could have gotten him the football.
And that's what pressure does for you. It makes a quarterback get out of their rhythm and throw it quicker than they wanted to. Because you're right, Borton had at least the 30. Might have scored.
So, Leo McGarry goes off the field. Have a look towards Cameron Green, the best hands on the field for Santa Barbara tonight. He has made some spectacular catches.
3 of them to be precise for 82 yards.
He comes to the near side of the field. One-on-one coverage. Doherty, that's a fumble because he flipped it. There's a flag. And they're going to call it an illegal forward lateral or intentional grounding because he flipped it on the ground.
And well, he was out of the pocket but didn't reach the line of scrimmage.
So, intentional grounding against Santa Barbara.
And he called an illegal forward pass.
Yeah.
But he wasn't past the line of scrimmage.
See, that's what I said. I thought he called. That's what the signal was.
Yeah. But either way, Fullerton's going to get the ball back.
So
it's only
either
fourth
pass is a loss of down.
Yeah.
Handling the punt for the Hornets.
And Brandon Bowers back to punt. He was the second team all conference last year, 40 yards, 40 and a half to be precise last year.
And they need a big punt now with 7:44 to go. A lot of foot. It's going to take a hop. Immediately taken down at the 20-yard line. So the Hornets up by 6, 7:36 left here in the third quarter. It's the Hornets 20. The Vaqueros 14 here on Sportsnet, USA.net. Well, we had a little snack at halftime, and if you're looking for a snack and you need to go someplace to pick it up, there's no better place to go than Discount Market here at Fullerton on Raymond between Commonwealth and Chapman. That's right. Walk in and talk to manager Sam, talk to Jenna, one of the owners, or Isabel, the other owner. What specials you got going on? And whatever you can find, you'll be happy with at the end of the day at Discount Markets of Fullerton.
First and 10, Hornets.
Nunez is back again. Throws it across the middle of the field. Quick little one. Nice feeling to just drop it in the middle of the thing. Nice catch right there by Foxhagen. Corey, first time he's had the ball thrown his direction. Jordan Tate on this side of the field. Tate looking over the sideline, seeing what's gone. Nunez looking for a little conversation. He's played most of the game tonight for the Hornets. Straight up the middle, little collision right there for Bakapuna.
And again.
So looks like Garrett Campbell is picking up the pace or trying to. And Ryan, one of the things you told somebody the other day, Garrett likes to get off 16 gazillion plays in a game.
Yeah, that was one of the things he mentioned to us a couple years back, is that one of his game plans is to get as many plays off as possible, as many snaps as possible.
Bakapuna was looking to get hit, Corey Neyland, instead of catching the football. Took his eyes off the ball, wasn't going to catch it.
Wouldn't have mattered. Crudo was there to make that stop. He's been a sure tackler in that first half. He had 3, couple here in this third quarter. So the Santa Barbara defense is looking a little bit more at ease against this Fullerton College offense.
So Cameron Green goes back deep. He'll stand at the 30 for the Vaqueros. Looking to break one off with 6:25 to go here in the third quarter. Weather's beautiful out. The crowd's having a great time. It's nice here in the booth. Green looks at it, says, I'll take it. Goes to the right. looking for a block, tries to turn over, stays on his feet, gets across the 50 and upended at the 45, where he did a backward flip. Ryan Osborn, I think that was an 8.5 on style.
Yeah, and Mark, one of the things that you take a look at this special teams, they've been coached up by Coach Sober. You and I know Coach Sober for quite a while. He makes sure that every single guy who's going out in coverage is very physical and they get to the runner as quickly as possible and try and lay a lot of contact on them to not necessarily send a message, but to say, hey, you know what? These lanes aren't going to be open for you later.
Brosterhouse, near side of the field. In motion on the far side of the field is Sundquist. Ball goes down, fumble, falling on right there. No motion, no loss. 6:04 to go. Guys, has it become raggedy or is it just me looking at it that way? The game. Okay, there's an answer for both of them.
I was waiting for Mr. Title IX to give us his 2 cents first. But I wouldn't say raggedy, but it definitely isn't a clean game, Mark. You look at both these two teams, I don't think neither of them has necessarily taken a hold and initiated the game plan that they would like.
Brosterhouse hasn't had anything thrown his way. Big player. Handed straight up the middle. There's an opening. Getting through there and finally looking for a real nice little run. They've had it going on all day long. And right there, David Smith comes through.
But that's the thing, Mark. It's not that either team is really disrupting the other. I think both of these two teams have kind of stepped in their own path.
And I think that's a good explanation with the score being 20-14 here with 5 minutes to go.
4-yard gain for Smith, 3rd and 9.
Third and 9. Here comes the pressure. Looking for something. Incomplete. Cameron Green wanted a flag. Corey Neyland said he should get it because Corey said, I tell you what, his best friend, Diego Diaz. Oh, we got a holding.
Holding on the Vaqueros.
They call holding. And so that was denied. It'll bring up 4th down. So Fullerton defense once again makes a stop, going back deep. Jamir Cartagena. Back deep for the Hornets.
Fourth and 9, out comes the punting unit. Back deep is Brandon Bowers with the big leg. Our returner, number 85, Jamir Cartagena.
A little soccer style. He takes off, Ryan. He tries to. Then he was going to pitch it. Good defense. And Corey Neyland is shaking his head over here. Like, why would you run that with 4:32 to go here in the 3rd quarter?
I'm not sure why you would do that soccer-style kick instead of just kicking it away. Your defense is playing well. They've proven that they can force turnovers with 3 in the first half. Let Fullerton work with the long field and try to make them make a mistake as the Hornets come out with a new quarterback.
Nathan Comley. Hopefully that's how you would say his name.
Comley.
Ball turned on down, dead center, 50-yard line, 1st and 10, Hornets!
I formation for the Hornets, something we haven't seen this thing. Running straight up the middle. Hello. Excuse me, we're the team playing across, and you know what? You're going nowhere, Garnett Davis III.
Pro 2 says we've seen the I formation before, and we know exactly what to do.
So Vakapuna comes back in the game. far side of the field, Jeremy Gomez for the Hornets. We thought there was going to be a little axe. C.J. Broy is probably saying, I've been out here all day long. I've yet to see something thrown right on the snide to me. He's hoping for it right now with 3:49 to go.
And Mark, that's Cornley, excuse me.
Oh, so what looks like an M is an R and an N?
Yes, it is.
Because it looks like an M on my sheet.
This one's better.
Oh, it is? Thank you. I appreciate that then. So Nathan Cornley.
Gain 3 yards. Elvis Blacapuna. Tackled by Matt Suto.
3rd down and 7.
3rd and 8.
Bakapuna looking. And Corey Neyland made a really good point. I tell you what, if Santa Barbara stops them here, you're going to say, why? Why? We give them field position. Here comes the pressure across the middle of the field. Almost another interception, Corey Neyland, as Christian Stewart really had no chance to catch that ball.
Daquan McClennan was on the coverage. Stride for stride, it had to be a perfect throw. And it was just off target. But again, Santa Barbara's defense comes up with another big stop. And you got to think, maybe if we can just straight punt that away, we might get some better field position. But they've got Green back, who's an electric player.
Stick your finger in the socket, tell me what you feel, and then put an AL on it.
He's an electrical player?
There we go. And a nice little fake on his. At first I thought he was calling a fair catch, and then I realized, oh no, he's trying to tell me the ball's over here as it rolls in. Automatic touchback, 2:48 to go. Here in the 3rd quarter of the first home game on campus ever here on SportsNetUSA.net. We're in the new press box. We're all becoming good friends quickly up here. I've already been invited to New Year's and Christmas, you know. We were actually hoping that maybe they'd come to my birthday party because I like presents. So, you know.
Presents.
Yeah. Greg just threw me his wallet, so I'm feeling good there. This is where Corey. This is where I feel like Santa Barbara ought to start airing out. They've got some receivers that can catch the football. You're disagreeing with me.
Yeah, I think you need to get those drives and you're mixing it up. I mean, Prince Borden's had a nice game. He's got about 50 yards rushing. Doherty, not bad, over 100 yards passing, and Green with those 82 yards. If you get a couple, good runs here, except for that one because you lose one. But you don't have to air it out yet. No reason to rush it.
So Corey Neyland says, let's hold on to it. Salisbury comes in near side of the field. Once again, running up the middle. Nothing there. The door shuts quickly. Brian Crook says, hey, if they want to run it, we'll shut the door on them. I'm not. And Ryan Osborn, Brian Crooks has no problems with Phil Austin putting people on an island as a defensive back.
Well, we've heard it from both of them. They trust their defensive backs. We've seen it in the past. They allow them to go out there and make athletic plays. As long as they are technically sound, they will give them that trust.
Well, at least there's a group of us that feels that way about the defensive backs, and then there might be one stray individual that we all know. Here they come, pressure on, going deep on the right side of the field, up, can't come down with it. Boy, it was there, Corey Neyland. Looked, but you still needed a circus catch.
Yeah, and Gamage, again, it has to be perfect to Sundquist. He has the height advantage on Gamage, but again, he forces him to the sideline, uses that edge as a defender, and even if he makes the catch, it's going to be out of bounds.
So the defense comes up again with 1:15 to go. 20-14 here in the closeout of the 3rd quarter on SportsNetUSA.net. Little pressure. Ball's away. Going to get a bounce. Hornets get away. Down. And so they're going to down it right at the 42. With 1 minute and 5 seconds as we get ready to roll on over to the fourth quarter. It's the Hornets 20, the Vaqueros 14 here on SportsNetUSA.net. Ryan Osborn, Joseph Pavlenko, Corey Neyland, the old guy, Gabby Neyland still at the reception. You know, it might be some good-looking doctors over there. You know, when you get back, you may not have a wife at the end of the night.
They get her to walk.
Corey's coming home. Guys, Corey's coming home with me tonight. Dr. Kildare said, I have no idea who you are. Nunez, pump fakes, middle of the field. Receiver open, ball is short, almost a pick. Ryan Osborn, you had a great view on that one.
Yeah, it was interesting too because Mark, after the initial pass breakup, it looked like it could have deflected into the arms of the Hornet there. But once again, you talk about that ball being short. It's just a shade behind. You're looking at these routes being open. These guys are getting there. It's just a matter of if he has the time to let it go.
He's got a lot of Gresh Jensen and laserisms to him. Wow.
Nunez spins away from one after getting caught in the backfield, gets a gain of about a half a yard. And so the stuttering and slow downness of both these offenses has become evidence as we get ready to slide into the fourth quarter in a nail-biter here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Real quick scoring update, guys. Riverside has now taken the lead over Long Beach, 31-28 with 6:10 left to go in the third, and Canyons trails it by 6 entering the fourth.
Nunez looks. Nunez goes to Bacapuno. Has to get a block. Puts a move on, drops a shoulder, and give it to the running back, Corey Neyland, because that initial second move gets him a first down.
Yeah, and it wasn't really a block, rather than Levias steps in the way of the corner and allows Vakapuna to pick up that first down and that extra 7 yards.
So let us head into the fourth quarter of the first game here at home on SportsNetUSA.net, where the Hornets are up by 6. It's Fullerton 20, Santa Barbara 14 on SportsNetUSA.net. You know, it's a late night. I'm going to go home. Corey brought us a little food at halftime. That just whet my appetite, so now I got to eat something at the end of the game. And if I'm going to do that, where I'm going to go to Discount Market at Fullerton, probably stop. Oh, they're done at 10 o'clock, so that's when they close. I guess I'm not going to get there. But if I could, I would find more variety, more different types of products that I would want at the most reasonable prices you could ever ask for. I'll tell you, get up in the morning, get out there early. You can find pastries. You can get your eggs, your milk. All those prices that keep going up, theirs keep coming down. Located on Raymond between Chapman and Commonwealth in Fullerton. That's Discount Markets in Fullerton. Here, one of our new sponsors on SportsNetUSA.net.
So the last time these two teams met was the Potato Bowl in 1991.
Running downhill, ball to the 44-yard line, first and 10.
Nunez, quick little shot. Nice one on the money, and I think he's going to throw it to my man who hasn't had one all day.
Nunez, right in the breadbasket, number 87.
So he threw it to C.J. Broy.
That was Haugen.
Oh, it was Haugen? Okay, I thought you told me it was C.J.
Oh, second reception.
Oh, okay. Across the middle, ball goes up, incomplete pass.
That's picked. That's picked.
I agree with you, Corey. That stayed on his back. That should have been an interception.
That's an interception by Keenan Stokes.
I think one of the referees has ruled that it is an interception. The other says no.
Oh, that should have been the 4th turnover by the Hornets. That was an outstanding catch by Keenan Stokes.
Pass incomplete.
Mark, what
Ooh.
happens there is that ball goes off the hands of the receiver, pops up, hits his helmet, stays on his neck/back, and was brought up by the defender, or at least we'll say covered up, ensnared.
Ball to 36.
Wow, that's a huge break for the Hornets.
So the Hornets get one that they wanted. Nunez can't do anything with it, as that has been confirmed by everybody down here that was a pick on the play, as I could hear the announcer for Santa Barbara, who was right in front of it,
I
saying,
told you it was a pick.
yeah, no, but saying point blank, they just gave one to the Hornets. I know you and Ryan both said so, but
Yeah,
he
they
saw it also.
Yeah, that was an outstanding catch by Stokes. But again, that's the arc that Nunez needed that pass to Gonzalez to be.
Nunez looks like he's just trying to get somebody to jump. Decides to hand it off to Vakapuna. Vakapuna says, give it to me.
4th and 2. Vakapuna time.
I'm just a big truck that drives down the street.
You know, I
Call
talked
me
to
Vakapuna.
talked to a couple guys from the 0405 team, Donald Morris and Raphael Rice.
Nunez this time puts air underneath it. It's going to be out of bounds, even if it was caught. Trying to go to Jordan Tate. Jordan Tate could not pull it in.
And Rice and Morris were in the mold of Vakapuna, or Vakapuna's in the mold of Rice and Morris.
Yeah, it sounds like you open a restaurant. Would you like a little rice and Morris with your Vakapuna? Nunez says, no, I just give it to Vakapuna, let him run up the middle again. He can't get taken down. He's wearing the defense down. 13:58 to go. Little Vakapuna is running well.
Elvis, gain of 8. 3rd and 2.
3rd down and 2 for the Hornets. They're on the door. Hand it to him again. This time, Corey, maybe a half a yard. Now let's see the decision time for the Hornets. Do you run it? Ryan Osborn, field goal?
I think you just keep going at the yardsticks. You need a touchdown.
Corey Neyland usually likes points right about here.
Yeah, you've got to go for it. Nunez, put it in the belly, pull it out, and take off.
Nunez does exactly what Corey Neyland says you do. Puts it in the belly of Vakapuna. They bite on that. He goes and takes it up the middle for a 1st down. 1st down for the Hornets. 13 minutes to go. 6-point game. Santa Barbara needs to stop them. The Hornets need to fill that breathing room. Nunez goes down. Has time. Back of the end zone.
Nunez slings it. Looking for a
Almost picked. So we have a flag. We'll see who it is against.
defensive holding on Santa Barbara.
So they get another one. Santa Barbara is snake bit right now by the home field advantage for the Hornets. Corey, I'm not sure how many, but that's the 9th penalty of the game for Santa Barbara.
Ball moves the 8-yard line.
A deadly non-call on an interception. Nunez takes it himself. Should be a touchdown. Touchdown Hornets.
And it goes back to what Corey was saying on that 4th down. Just let Nunez take the ball, stick it in his belly, and run with it because he has the physicality and the legs to be able to get to the edge there. That's exactly what they trust him to do, and it ends up with 6.
Jonathan Faubert comes in. Ball is spotted. Kick is up. Faubert gets a little spaghetti-ized on the kick.
And again, it's all that touchdown made possible by the non-call interception. It was clearly an interception by Stokes. And the flavor and the favor is going to Hornets' way tonight.
Are you talking about the food you gave us, or are you talking about the game?
No, I'm talking about the game.
Oh, okay. So the Hornets, 27. Santa Barbara, 14 with 12:38 to go. And you know what, Corey? Nobody on either side has said, okay, enough is enough. It's time to go home. Very few people that are here live in the high desert.
And you know what, Mark, I think this goes back to what Corey was saying. This is a team that went up from the American to the National, and I don't think it should be thought of as an American League team. This is a National Division team. Lots of success last year.
And if you don't trip, Clements might still be running as Easton Clements cuts back, trips on the turf, and decides enough is enough. Santa Barbara needs to find a way to get on the board quickly. As some individuals now are saying, well, maybe the game's over. They're up by 13 with 12:32. We have seen stranger things in any collegiate football game, especially community college. Told a story the other day about Corey Neyland, who took off his headset during the days, walked out of the booth, and then realized on somebody trying to kneel down, the Hornets had just recovered the football. Deep down the middle of the field, all by yourself, on the dime. And you know what? If you throw it right, they're still running. So we're now getting things that are going down there, trying to move quickly. Will Doherty puts one there, and if Will could do it, might be a little different thing in the game right here. Trying to play it a little faster. Quick pitch to Morton on the outside. Morton turns the corner, gets across the line of scrimmage, gets gain of 2 on it. We're at the 11-minute and 50-second mark in the fourth quarter. Hornets up by 13 in what has been a well-contested game by both teams. The Hornets, one too many mistakes allowed Santa Barbara to stay in the game.
So Sean Malcolm makes the stop, 59 in blue. Ali Louis Charles also in the ball game, 35 for the Hornets. New linebackers to round that out is going to be Micah Tapua, wearing number 31 in blue.
Brosterhouse comes in the near side of the field. Now they flip from left to right. Lots of motion over here. Go over, stick in the middle, try to get up. Do they get the first down? We get a flag at the end of the play, and that is going to be against Santa Barbara as that big offensive lineman, Darian Parker, runs over the defenseman at the end of the play.
So Foy picks up a tough first down, Ryan, and Parker again. That one you might not be able to argue.
No, and you're looking at that call being sent both ways as well. We saw a couple on the Hornets earlier, so if you're this late in the game, you got to know, hey, if it turns into that extracurricular contact, the referees are going to call you immediately on it.
So they give him the first down, then they move it back all the way to the 40. So it'll be a first down at the 40. So the play counts. They call the penalty after the play is completed. Therefore, that's why the first down stands, but you move it backwards on that penalty. People may say, wait a minute, how can it still be first down? That's how it works out rule-wise. First and 10 from the 40 now. Doherty, got to get hot. Throws it off the mark. Feels a little pressure there. Tries to get it out quick and throws it off the mark. So, you look at it once again, and Cole Brosterhouse, 6'4", 190 pounds from Oregon. So when you think about it, Corey, when you look at both these teams from out of state, oh, wait a minute, local kid. And you can't say Doherty has had a great game back there. Steps up, cross the middle, incomplete pass. Flags all over the place. So Brosterhouse goes up, gets undercut. Corey Neyland, Ryan Osborn does not like the call.
I think it was close enough that you're going to make that call. So Kadari Kearns was there just a hair before that pass. What happened is Doherty overthrew that so much that it looks like a bad undercut. But again, that's a break for Santa Barbara's way, and let's see if they can capitalize on it.
10:28 to go. They need to get on the board. Ryan, if they get on the board, if they get a touchdown with 8 minutes to go in this game, then it's a crapshoot. Anybody can come away with a victory.
And the thing is that wouldn't just be a confidence booster. That would be snatching the momentum and grabbing hold of it. Because you look at Santa Barbara, they have trusted their defense more than a few times, and they've come up big for them.
First and 10 at the 50. Nice little fake. Middle of the field. Going deep. 1-on-4. Push. Catch. Comes down with the hole. My goodness. Corey Neyland. 1-on-4. And who comes down with it? With Santa Barbara.
Brewster House finally makes that catch. And again, we've seen some fantastic catches on the Santa Barbara side. First by Green, now by Brewster House. It was, and I'm not going to say it was underthrown, but I was going to say Brewster House went to the highest point which he needed to come down with the ball.
Well, and I think, Ryan, the pattern that he ran was perfect for that pass.
Goes back to what you were talking about, Mark. Receivers catching with their hands and going up for the football.
First and goal. Straight up the middle. Give it to Prince Borton. Borton gets down across the 5. So, guys, I said if you score before 8, it's a crapshoot. If they can get that touchdown, anything can happen. And realize the bobbled extra point by the Hornets could be the difference in this game. I formation, power football for Santa Barbara with 9 minutes to go. Straight dive. You block him, great fake. Looking. Back of the end zone, just goes too far. Corey, the Fullerton defense was there. Nice fake. He rolls out, and everybody trails with the receiver.
Yeah, Doherty, by the time he rolls out, his receiver, looks like that was Ward, he had him. But again, a little bit too late on the rollout to recognize he was open. He still made the catch out of bounds.
Third down. Ryan, 4 downs. You going for it on the next 2?
Absolutely. You got to get it in the end zone.
Corey?
Yeah, not enough time.
There you go. Get the block. Go to the backside. Here they come. He's not quick-footed. They get the defense. Brian Crooks, corral of defensemen, come up big. And now this could be the final play for Santa Barbara to have an opportunity.
Carlo Torres makes the stop, and again, that play was slow developing as they were looking for their tight end, Sundquist. What had to happen is Doherty needed 5 seconds to roll out to the right side and throw to the left pylon for Sundquist. That's just not going to work, as it hasn't worked all day or all night against the Hornets.
4th and goal from the 13. Spread offense. Here comes the defense. Let's see what happens. They're coming. They sell out. Throw up. Back of the end zone. Incomplete pass. By Caden Smith. Nice use of hands, Corey. The receiver turns and gets there. He gets the hand inside without using body to knock the ball away.
Yeah, a good throw by Doherty. Hands on the ball. Did Buckley have it? But again, Smith, a better job on defense to knock it away.
Ryan Osborn, I'm going to put it on you. Run, run, and run. You're going to give it to Vakapuna on every play?
Absolutely. Because you look at Vakapuna, you know, Davis and Vakapuna remind me a lot of guys like Pop Thomas or, what, we'll say a Philip Butler back there as well. Guys who can be shifty or who can actually go right at contact. You run it with them and you let them control the game.
So I'm going to look because Corey Neyland said no, it's Sewell, Jonathan up there. Yep, it is, Corey, you're right. Out of Groveville, Alabama, Clark County. 5'11", 215 pounds. Sort of built like Corey Neyland. Sort of.
Seen 215 in years.
Straight up the middle again. Quick stop. We're at 7 minutes. So we want to thank everybody for watching the pregame show on KBPK, then switching over to us, watching the football game here on SportsNetUSA.net. It has been a full day for Joe, Corey, myself, Ryan, and a lot of glee little students. Third up the middle, brings up a 4th down. 3-run plays, 3 out, but it wasted a couple minutes. We're at the 6-minute mark, a 13-point lead. So one more, they can get that first. You sell out, one back deep. Try to get him to jump on 4th. Nunez looks over. Garrett Campbell will let them go. Take the penalty. Says, where's it at? And he calls timeout. So walked over to the line, judge said, how many seconds do I got? He goes, I tell you what, if you're going to make that phone call, drop the dime now. He did. He goes, honey, I'll be home in about 5 minutes and 48 seconds here on SportsNetUSA.net.
Mark is showing his age.
Is it a quarter now?
Yeah, they don't even have payphones.
I was going to say, which payphone is Mark going to that you can put in a dime?
I'm going to the payphone in 1969. Gasoline, 35 cents, a dime for a phone call. And you know what? You actually make it collect or charge it to your home phone. Just sorry, guys. Corey'd been out of luck because he never would have had a dime. He would have used it at the donut shop. Here comes the punt. It's going to hit the ground. No opportunity for Derange. Now, come on, Corey Neyland. You're old enough to remember a payphone.
Yeah.
Okay. Look at Joe staring at me like a payphone. Yeah, Joe, you actually spent
No,
money.
Joe Ryan is the one wondering what a payphone is.
Hey, I've used payphones in the past.
See? Ryan's all of 15 years old, and he's used a payphone. Wow. Corey Neyland, one more time, trying to make me older than I
I've
really
used
am.
a payphone. I know what 411 is.
See? Ryan Osborn, we look at it with 5:36 to go. You've talked to him. Garrett Campbell happy that he wins this game, and that's just good enough tonight?
No, I think he wants to make a statement here, especially going into that Canyons matchup.
Trying to take off running, and we have a speedy defense, and you can't, Will Doherty, try to outrun the defensive back.
Not especially if you have blanket coverage in the secondary. Jamari Griffin, just to name one, on this near side, number 19 for the Hornets. I mean, there was no one open for Santa Barbara.
2nd down and 11 with 5 minutes to go. So Doherty brings him back out. Brosterhouse, who made an incredible catch, is to the near side of the field. Doherty goes out. Brosterhouse, nobody open. Looking to go deep to Mihan. Just can't catch up with the ball.
And again, Griffin on the coverage for the 2nd consecutive play.
4:48, 3rd down and 11. So Brian Crooks' defense, except for a couple little mistakes here and there and turnovers that gave Santa Barbara a short field once again, looks like that aspect of the team that could stir the drink for them to do well this year.
Oh, Santa Barbara's going to have a heck of a season.
Here they come. Doherty gets hit over the top. Incomplete pass. One more time, trying to go to Jackson Meehan, who's one of the better receivers on this Santa Barbara team. I like Santa Barbara. I think they've got 3 outstanding receivers. I like Meehan and then Brosterhouse. I think you just look at him and say, run, baby. I'm throwing it up high. You go and get it.
Yeah, they just need some rhythm. Again, they had such an outstanding season last season that you're bound to lose a whole bunch of guys, which they did. Quarterback, running back, leading receivers, top defensive guys. And so that's one of the things that they have to combat.
So they're going to punt it away. Ball is low. Punt it away. Deep kick. Hits the ground. Thought about going after it. Lets it go as we click down to 4:30 before the whistle's blown. 4 minutes and 30 seconds to go, and it looks like it will be a happy time in Hornetville tonight here on sports.usa.net. The Hornets look like they're going to come away with a 27-14 outcome. Ryan Osborn, you do the coaches show every week. I've got to ask you, you've been out there for the practices. How do you assess this first week against a very good Santa Barbara team?
You know what? I think that it's a nice win to grind out, but at the same time, it's difficult to look at it and say it's a dominating victory. Yes, you get a 2-score win over a team that had a really great season last year, but you also have to look at there were some self-inflicted mistakes.
Hornets are going to run out the clock. So, Ryan, you look at both sides. Brian Crook's defense, good, or lots of improvement still to go?
I think they played pretty well in this one. I think especially when they were asked to go out and get a stop, they did exactly that. And, I mean, you take a look at just that last series there by Santa Barbara. You get a guy like Doherty, lots of size, lots of speed that he can use, but yet he's still caught up by that blanket coverage and gets chased down as well. I think his defense did pretty well.
Bakapuna back in the game. And then offensively?
Offensively, I'll say work in progress. They had a lot of good successes, but you saw them get ahead of themselves just a shade.
Bakapuna goes straight up the middle.
I think if you're Garrett Campbell seeing the offense today, I think you look at it and you say, we made a lot of good ground, especially that start, which was pretty electric for Fullerton. But you also have to be able to kind of shore up those mistakes. We saw a couple of false starts. We saw them kind of get in their own way a little bit, especially at the line of scrimmage. You tune that up, you go into next week against Canyons, and you'll be sitting pretty fine.
So, a promising look at the team, or is it still, I'm not quite sure if you're a Hornet fan?
A win is a win.
Yeah, I was going to say, I think it's a very good, promising start to the season for Fullerton College.
Promising start, not an exciting game. This was kind of bland, but it's kind of lackluster or kind of boring compared to what happened throughout the whole day. The anticipation and build up to this game, I'm not sure this game could have matched it.
So it's like turning 21 and realize that nobody's going to let you drink.
Well, if you don't drink anyway, that's all right.
All right. Well, we know how exciting Corey's 21st birthday was.
I had cake.
And it was all his. Just eating that cake that was delicious.
There was 2.
Chocolate cake with chocolate frosting?
Oh, no. That's
Oh.
no.
Okay. Chocolate, a white cake with chocolate frosting. Nunez fakes it, takes it, dances outside, gets across the 25. So they move the chains. So Brandon Nunez looking good. Probably would like to pass a little better today, but he'll take the run. He'll take what he's got, and he comes away with start number 1, victory number 1 here in 2023. Nunez goes back. Vakapuna, the running back. First down and 10 for the Hornets, right at the 27. Nunez just lets it go tick, tick, tick. The clock ticks down, tries to get him to jump. Vakapuna goes up the middle, gets a gain of 4. 5, ball comes out. So let's see what they're going to call.
Turnover number 4 for the Hornets.
So they do, the umpire does point in Santa Barbara's way. Now I think they're going to talk about it, Corey. But the umpire pointed that way.
Oh, it's clearly a fumble.
Okay, all right. So 2:41 to go. Not enough time on the clock. Well, we've seen stranger things in Hornet games here on Sportsnet, USA.net.
Let's go defense.
Got to strike quickly for Santa Barbara. Throw it quickly. Get to take somebody down. Hornets keep them in bounds. Clock keeps going. Doherty's got to get him up to the line. Doherty's got to get everybody in place. Chris Morton says, let's pick it up, let's pick it up. 2 steps, set and throw is what he's got to do. They hand it off to Morton. That goes no place. And that play, Corey Neyland, high snap, a little surprised. We're at the 2-minute mark.
Yeah, interesting call because you wanted to score within like 1 minute, 30 seconds left on the time. 1:15 at the latest, but 1:57, you have to use one of your timeouts. And you got to go down the field.
So timeout on the field with 1:57 to go. It's Fullerton 27, Santa Barbara 14 here on Sportsnet USA.net. 30-second timeout, so we keep going. Sort of like that. Let's go. Let's not stop things. They keep the action going. Doherty looks, goes back. Here comes the pressure. It's got to go to the back. Tries to throw a back shoulder pass, but he didn't even get close to the shoulder, the hip, or the ankle.
And a misread with the receiver. That's one of those throws that he needs to lead his receiver, and he might have a touchdown. But again, he tried to laser that one in to Green, and Green just couldn't come back. It was well defended.
So it's going to bring up a 4th down with 1:46 to go here in the 4th quarter. Trailing by 13, Fullerton changes everybody out defensively. Trying to make sure they got 11 guys on the field. Corey Neyland's counting that. Doherty says, I don't care. Let me throw it there. Is it enough for a 1st down? Caught. Where do they mark it? Did they mark it beyond the sticks where it looks like where he caught it?
That'll move the chains.
So they move the chains. Nice catch again by Cole Brosterhouse. So he's impressed everybody as a receiver. Big kid, great hands, nice speed. 1st down and 10. They back up again. Pump fake. Go to the outside. Takes it down himself. Gets caught from behind. Not a swift-footed running back. So Kennedy Jr., defensive lineman, follows the play, pulls him down from behind, 1:05 to go. Well, now it's all cosmetic if you get into the end zone. Goes back, goes across the middle, throws it there as the defensive back. Jumps for the pick, Ryan Osborn.
No, he didn't jump for the pick. He missed the ball totally as he ran past it, and Brewster House was, I guess he was confused and dropped it.
What'd you see, Ryan?
I think it goes to what Mark's saying is you look forward towards the end zone, see a little bit of peanut butter, and you leave the bread on the table.
No jelly on that sandwich?
What you do to that boy? You've been hanging around Mark too much.
No, but really, you take a look at that receiver on that play. He ends up taking a look upfield because he realized that the defensive back had tried to jump the route. In taking a look upfield, you don't actually see the ball all the way into your hands. It was wide open. The lane was there. The touchdown was there. However, just a shade too much anticipation on that as he takes a look upfield before securing the football.
We do know what Ryan's having when he goes home tonight to eat.
You know, that's a terrific idea.
Yeah. Give me that cold glass of milk and slap on a little Santa Barbara peanut butter. I don't know if there's anybody up in Santa Barbara that makes it. Do I dare look at the clock over there? Wow. We going to be home by 9:15.
You know what I do have to say? I never thought this game was happening, even when they said they were building a stadium or a field or whatever you want to call it, a facility. I still didn't think this was happening.
And then he still didn't think it was going to happen while we were here.
No, I did not.
Doherty says, watch this, Corey Neyland. Ball goes up. Almost picked with 49 seconds to go.
And Kadari Kearns again. And Fullerton is not even running nickel or dime packages. It's just their basic 4-man front, 3 backers and 4 DBs. And they are playing well. They have played a decent ball game, only given up 14 points. But when you guys go talk to the defense next week, they're not going to be happy.
Casey Mizzotto was still here. It'd be cover 2. Cover 2. Throw over to the flat. Tackle, can you hold on to him? Did he get there? Did he get to the sticks? Because you don't make that initial tackle, you just gave him a 1st down with 40 seconds to go. But it looks like he didn't because it looks like the defense is coming on the field.
Excellent tackle by Muhammad. Hussein did a nice job as Foy was looking for the marker and tried to struggle to pick up those 4 extra yards, and he picks up 3 more after the hit. And Fullerton.
So Garrett Campbell will go down as the first Fullerton College coach to ever win a game on campus here at Fullerton College on Sportsnet, USA.net. We want to thank everybody that showed up at the pregame show, went on the air with Ryan Osborn and myself. Want to thank everybody that went out and did some interviews for us earlier today. To all my partners tonight, for the young man that knows exactly how you call a game, Ryan Osborn, thank you for getting in that food call, because if you wouldn't have done it, I'd have been disappointed. for Joseph Pavlenko for coming on the air and being with us all day. Joe, thanks for being around with us all day long. To my partner of many years, yeah, talk about big sandwiches. He's sitting right next to you, right? To my partner for many years, Corey Neyland. To Ed Ford back in the studio. And for all you Hornet fans that have come out tonight, let's keep this a tradition here at Sherbeck Field and on SportsNetUSA.net. As the Hornets come away with a 13-point victory over Santa Barbara. Hey, we're going to see you all next week here on Sportsnet at College of the Canyons. Corey, Ryan, and myself here on SportsNetUSA.net.